Feels good, boys.
Oh,
what's
feels
going on
good.
a summer
You've
Tuesday?
got the pep in your step again. You're
Yep.
back. You're out of your Mandy's haze, Chris?
It was a lavender haze, as the great Taylor Swift said. I believe we have
Ew.
Taylor Swift news coming later on today.
Oh, yeah.
We need you today.
Well, unfortunately, I got to leave in 4.5 minutes. I got a meeting.
Is this
Hey,
what
we
happens?
got stuff to talk about, guys.
It's a busy
This what
Tuesday.
happens? Listen, yesterday,
Yes.
you broke down the Dodgers and the Angels
Right?
leading into our show. So I told Trav, I'm like, we don't even need to do anything. The guy's going to have it all covered for today's lit.
It did catch me by surprise.
Well, what did you want me to say in yesterday's
Kershaw's
episode?
going to miss
There wasn't
time
a
or
lot.
not.
There was Colorado Rockies mentioned. There was the Angels on the road again mentioned.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
What
in
did you
there.
want me to say?
Whatever you
It's
would like
Monday.
to say.
Travis and Sliwa, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, sure, whatever. It does seem like you're a little more energetic. Have you gotten sleep? What's going on?
I've gotten a little bit of sleep, but I've also gotten back on the proper eating, tracking the calories through the corporate Greg Lose It app. Let's see, I'm properly hydrated.
Okay.
I didn't sleep a lot last night, but I had a beautiful steak. Shidana told me to go to, because I was in a bit of a bad mood yesterday afternoon. These things happen. Shidana said, here's what you got to do. Go to Bristol Farms. Is there a Bristol Farms near you? He had to ask that question. I said, well, it's about 12 minutes away. No, 15 minutes away, up next to Black Gold. He goes to Bristol Farms. They got a deal on ribeyes. Get yourself a ribeye. Make a ribeye tonight. And then he wanted to
That's
Did
a
you put it in the pan? Did you put it on the
so
grill?
he wanted to ask.
It's a
So
little
what?
therapeutic
He
there.
goes, I know you got all the stuff in the backyard, but what's the grill situation? I got a Weber. I got a Blackstone. He's like, get that thing up to about 600. By the way, what he didn't tell me is how long it would take that Weber to get up to 600.
A week and a half?
It took a good half
Still
hour.
on. He hasn't eaten yet.
But here's the key about last night's amazing steak. I could give credit, the USDA Choice Prime, oh no, it was just Choice, to Bristol Farms. It's a good cut of meat. But leaving it out, here's the key, kids. Leaving it out for almost an hour and a half. So I did a little workout, showered, went downstairs, did my seasoning, slapped that thing on there at 600 degrees. It was amazing.
You got to let it come up to room temperature before you put it on the grill. Cold steak on the grill?
No, but it was out for an hour
That's
and a
what
half
I'm saying.
in the kitchen.
Yeah.
600
600
degrees.
degrees. It
like
was steaming.
Ruth
My
Chris hot.
gosh.
That's one of the best steaks I've ever made at home. And I wasn't really trying. I was just like, okay, let's make it.
Can we talk about why you were in a bad mood? Is that worthy of a discussion?
I think
We
you'll
got-
know
what-
more on
what's your-
Thursday. So anyway,
Your 10:05. Let's
Oh,
move
really?
it. Let's move your 10:05.
No, I can't. No, there's a lot of things going on.
Bring
I mean,
them in here.
All you have to do is do a Google search on some things, and there's a lot of stuff going on. It's just a lot. Summer is. I always think like, oh, this is going to be a great summer. I'm going to relax, play all this golf,
Yo, Summer Station.
and then by the time it's August 30th, I realize I never did any of those things. I just worked.
No, you got to do it. You got to make it happen.
So that's okay.
Yeah, just leave everything. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. He's going to take time off. I'll eventually take time off. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
I'm
guys,
here for a while.
What do you think happens when I have tons of meetings and work and still, and my opens are like, here's Clinton Yates and Beto Duran 4 days in a row, and I love those guys, but I miss my guys.
Well, it's nice of you to say.
It's like Sinatra in the Rat Pack that Rat Pack movie, and he says, "I miss my guys. I miss it when it's just a lot of holidays."
You're Peter Lawford, Slee.
Yeah, you actually are Peter Lawford. I'm Dean Martin.
I have a question.
Yes.
The app, the Lose It app, what's it
Yeah,
called?
lose it.
How tough is it to put everything in the app?
I've learned. You also, if you're smart enough and you know what you're eating, you can kind of ballpark it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like you know.
But isn't that exactly what you're not supposed to do?
No, because
Ballpark it?
Is just
but it has a lot of
round
stuff.
off
So,
on
so
everything?
last night, if you searched ribeye,
okay.
it would give you caloric data based on the size. Well, I knew approximately how big it was. I guess not pre-cooking it, but whatever. I didn't weigh it after I cooked it. I probably should have.
I picture Chris going around with one of those little scales.
I have a scale in the
everywhere it
kitchen.
goes.
You think I don't have a scale?
Yeah, never mind. Yes, I believe you have a scale, but I don't picture you taking the meat off the grill, letting it rest, and then setting it on your
Hey, man,
little
you got the
scale.
stuff? You got the money?
Our boy Taylor.
So,
Our boy Taylor, man.
I mean, but he's moving to the family business, and I can.
Yeah.
The Italian side of me for the table always says, if it's for the family of La Familia, I can't be upset at that. But,
Guy's taking over a big farm.
600 acres.
that's a lot. That's like J.R. Ewing, the South Fork
South
Ranch.
Fork Ranch. That's
That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to check it with him. How's South Fork? Just going to call it the South Fork Ranch.
So what? If
He just goes, ends up getting plans. He's building 400 homes. There's going to be a Marshall's there, a
develops it.
gas station.
He becomes a real estate baron instead of a farmer.
Guys, it's 10:05, so I will see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Keep music in your heart.
We'll be here.
I might be back at 10:30.
Now, I'm very curious as to what's happening on Thursday now.
No, don't. That was a sideways joke. Don't worry about that.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I
you know
already
how
know.
my mind works.
Doesn't affect you.
I seize on little things, and
I already
go
know.
from there. You do? You'll tell me? Or no?
No.
Probably
We'll wait
not.
till Thursday.
Let's stop with the Thursday jokes,
Fine.
actually.
I've moved on from it. If you're Peter Lawford and you're Dean Martin, am I Sammy? Am I Frank? Who am I?
Yeah, so anyway, he's Peter Lawford and I'm Dean Martin. I'll be back.
Do you know what we're talking about, Slee?
Not 100%.
I didn't think. You looked at me like, yeah, I don't know. I don't
know if I.
I'm worried about you.
Okay.
That I asked you about two separate things that, hey, you're still going to do this with me. And you're like, both of them were very, yeah, probably.
No, Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. For Saturday? Week from Saturday?
Week from Saturday, not 100% yet. But Thursday.
That's a no.
Thursday will happen.
I'm very good at
Actually,
the
no,
nonverbals.
week from Saturday.
I'm very good at
could
knowing
happen.
when somebody's kind of, no, that's not going to happen. Thursday, you've
Thursday
sold me
good.
on. Thursday, you've sold
Thursday
me
good.
on.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll enjoy a nice one, too.
Well, we should both take. Are you getting a little sick for Friday morning?
Hey,
I feel awful on Friday.
no, you guys are both not getting sick on Friday morning.
My,
Your
I had
voice sounds
bad,
a little thin, Slee.
No, I had bad Chinese food.
Getting the black lung, Bob.
So I think that's what it is.
The last time you and I went to see Taylor together, we went to the restaurant in Beverly Hills. The name
Yep.
escapes me. Do you remember? I don't remember. It was
I
delicious.
know it was Muhammad.
Muhammad
and
was the guy that
Anabar.
hosted us. I forget the name of it.
Dolma.
We had
Akbar.
He left the whole spread, and I had more Middle Eastern food in the backseat of my car than you could eat in 100 lifetimes.
You look like what you took home, and you were. I respect that. You know, some people. I'm not good at taking things. Like I'm not good. I don't want it in my car, especially if it's going to sit there for 4 hours. I'm going to smell it for the next 2 weeks. You looked at it as what an incredible
I didn't have to
opportunity.
buy
I get to
food for
smell.
2 days.
I get to smell this for the next 2 weeks. And if you open up the back of your car, if you just open up the back of your car, it was as if you were going to
Like
a
a food
catered
truck.
birthday with 38 people, and you already had everything.
With your family.
With my
Right,
family.
Right. I was going to feed your family that cuisine, and I was going. Now I did drive home at about 80 miles an hour with all the windows down to try to flush the scents out of it. It's good.
Every time you came into the office for the next like 3-4 days, I smelt it on you. I'm like, you smell like Middle Eastern
Well, it's
food.
because he didn't change his pants.
Well, okay. I almost
Didn't
did
wash
it
his
today.
pants.
I didn't wash my pants.
You also didn't wear the same
I didn't.
top.
I literally for half a second because it would have worked out.
Was yesterday's black?
Yesterday's was black, and I had a different white golf shirt on, but.
Because we can totally tell.
No, but the thing is that sometimes you'll catch it just right where you go home, you throw the stuff in the hamper, and then the laundry goes like that very same day. So all the stuff that you wore the day is clean the next day. I almost put the exact same outfit back on again just to see if what we talked about yesterday, if any of you would call me out on it. You came in a very different outfit today, Slee. If
Yeah,
you're
you
watching
do
us on
look very
YouTube,
different.
Slee's got
I have a
branded,
tux on.
a branded golf shirt, an ESPN LA
By the
golf
way,
shirt.
I don't know why.
No hat.
I have 3 of these. I don't know why I don't wear them more often. You know how
great shirt,
easy
man.
it is to just throw this on and come into the office now? Usually we come in with a sweater because it's 9 degrees in the office usually. I'm taking my chances today.
The reason I don't, well, maybe we'll see. I'll try you out. Much like your participation on Thursday, Friday, we'll see whether or not I bring it up.
Okay.
We'll see. How you feeling this morning now?
Feeling
Chris
good,
was in
buddy.
and out of here like a flash.
Yeah, the guy's kind of like...
He's a busy man.
Well, I couldn't tell. Sometimes people do that where it's a very good diversion. When you're like, guys, I got to get out of here. I have 5 minutes, I'm out. For all I know, he's sitting in his office right now watching Law and Order.
No, well, Columbo, obviously.
Columbo, yeah.
Watching
He's a
Murder, She Wrote, for all I know.
It's kind of like the thing on a date where, like, I'm on a first date and, like, you tell your friend, hey, if it's going at this time, call me. Because if it's going well, I can take the phone and say,
But
hey,
isn't that such a well-known trick, Em? That
Hey,
if
who
that
knows?
phone rings in the middle of a date now, everybody knows.
Oh,
it's
I'm
the
sorry,
potential
I have to
escape hatch,
answer
right?
this.
Everybody
Right,
knows
yeah.
that. That's
Hello,
But it
how are you
happens,
doing?
and it still works.
What happened to the dog?
I'll be right there, right? Like it's too. We need to come up with a new thing.
Yeah.
There needs to be a new.
Just say, hey, it's done.
Well, Okay, I think
honest.
we talked about this.
Just go to the bathroom and
By the
never
way,
come back.
those of you that are in your dating lives, 877-710-ESPN, if you have a way to get out of the date in the middle of it, if it's not going the way, is there, I know it's awkward. I know that the awkward quotient is off the charts, but couldn't you just say, hey, listen, man, I'm really not feeling this. I'm getting the sense that you're not feeling this either. Do you just want to call it a night? And
What if they are feeling it? It's
But what if
you
there's
just
food
not
on the
feeling it.
table? What if no one's
Well, no, you're going to
paid
finish
yet,
your
you know?
food. I
Yeah,
understand
exactly.
that. You're not going to be mid-bite and then tap out. I get that. But even if the other person is feeling it, I mean, obviously you're going to hurt their feelings a little bit, but
Yeah.
better to just kind of move on, no?
I think we can all tell at some point, like, if it's not going to work out. So, like, I've been interviewing for new roommates at the house.
I thought she was
'cause
going to say she was interviewing for a new job.
Sorry,
Like,
no.
whoa.
No.
Yeah.
We're interviewing
First
people.
Taylor, now Emily.
No, Taylor's actually recruiting.
She's going to be the foreman on the farm.
Yeah, Taylor's recruiting.
No. At the house to fill a new spot, and so there are certain people that we like talk to, and we're just like, yeah, not gonna work out, but we don't want to we had to still go through the whole like rigmarole and kind of end it kind of earlier than we probably would have. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like bad about ending
There
it
is
early.
no, there's a little uncomfortableness. Like if I would rather just try to find a way of, hey, to stare them in the eyes and to tell them I'm really not enjoying this dinner and this is going nowhere.
That's when you get
a
a slap
tough
You
in
one.
don't
your
have to
face.
say it quite like that.
You're gonna get
That's
water in your
that's a
face.
little aggressive. But you
Okay,
just
what
say,
if I said
yes?
Because what I would do is probably, hey, I'm really sorry. I got something that I really no, that's not going to be good.
Well, you just
I'm
say,
lying.
What you do is say, listen, this is super awkward. I'm not really feeling this. I get the sense that maybe you're not either. You just want to call it a night. Like you can't pretend it's another thing.
Yeah.
You can't say, hey, I don't like you. Like Emily, for your point about the roommates, right? That you're interviewing for roommates. If you would say to them in the middle of it, instead of having to go through the rigmarole of the whole part, just say, you know what? I don't think this is going to work out. Thank you so much for coming in, but we're going to move on. What's the
I
downside?
think that's fine because I guess it's less personal than being like a date.
Yeah.
And also a lot of times it's because like they're like, oh, I only can commit to 6 months. Like we don't really want someone that's just only committing to 6 months. But I don't know, things like that happen in a job interview sometimes too, or like, oh, you want to do XYZ times, and people
Yeah, but you
still
can tell
finish it
job
out.
interviews are like you know within 10 minutes of that interview whether or not you have any chance at all.
Yes, also agree.
Yeah.
My God, I forgot the oven on.
The goats are calling me. Oh no, Taylor, right?
Gotta
That's
go
what
walk my fish. You know, like you're busy.
That's producer Tyler.
Tyler here.
Producer Taylor, producer Emily. We got a lot going on.
We got a lot
Over
of
your
teas.
shoulder, Slee.
Yep.
Ohtani hit a 446-foot home run last night. And I got a question for you that has nothing to do with him being traded or not traded that hit me last night seeing him hit that home run. We'll get into it next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. AutoZone has the free services you need to help you get back on the road, like their free AutoZone Fix Finder service. The AutoZone Fix Finder service not only identifies the check engine light code, but it also helps identify the most likely cause of the check engine light being on. The information provided by the free AutoZone Fix Finder service is verified by data from over 5.5 million ASE certified technicians. And with over 5,600 locations nationwide, AutoZone is here to help you save time and money with their free services. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
On 710 ESPN.
think honesty is the best policy, Al.
Yeah.
Just not feeling it. I'm sorry. You're not going to be my roommate. We're not going to go on a second date. Really, just,
You're the one who's the proponent of like the grease of society, where sometimes you have to, get through something. You don't want to be totally honest, and you just kind of do it.
100%, but that's more for those little 10 or 15 second interactions. If I got to spend another hour with you just chit-chatting over nothing,
But again, you might get some water in your face. You might get someone who's really more angry than you anticipate. I wouldn't obviously throw water in your face, but I probably would be a little pissed at somebody.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's there's got to be a smoother way of doing it.
Like what? Give me plan B. If you want to get out of a date.
I'll tell you plan B. Plan B is I'm just going to lose one more hour. That's my plan B. I'm just going to suck it up for
what
the
if
one
there's
more
an episode
hour.
of Law and Order you haven't seen yet, and it's
I'll
coming on and you
figure it out.
forgot to TiVo it?
I'll figure it out.
I'm gonna one day that I went on with the person that liked White Chicks the most as their favorite movie of all time,
Well,
and
look.
I again just like kind of humored them.
Perfect
until
example.
I got the check when I made eye contact with someone, and then the check is the universal sign for
We're
this
done.
date's
Yeah, listen,
done.
you get another. If you're in a window, let's say, I mean, it can't be that bad within the first half hour. You might know
Yes, it
within
can
the
be.
first half hour that there isn't going to be a second date, but then you're only a half hour away from. I'll get the check. Plus, you can just kind of start ordering quicker.
We'd like
guys
to order
validate?
appetizers, entrees. We're not going to have dessert.
Whole
no
thing.
coffee. Here's my validate. You know what? Here's my credit card. Just open it up and run
Also,
it from
guys,
there.
I got some breaking news for you here.
Uh-oh.
Not sports world related, but this is entertainment world related. Sorry to our dear Sedano. He will not be succeeding in the Wheel of Fortune. It's going to be Ryan Seacrest will succeed Wheel of Fortune host Pat Sajak, who announced his retirement after 40 years in chair.
Well, that's
stage.
good.
So it's
Well,
gonna
he
be
needed
Ryan
another
Seacrest.
Yeah, that's-
high-paying, lucrative.
I haven't really seen him do
opportunity.
that much. What a door opener for Seacrest.
Right, he's a young talent that's on the rise.
I remember listening to Ryan Seacrest when he was a DJ on 98.7 here in LA. He was just a DJ. He was playing music, right? And that's what it was. And he had nice personality or whatever. And I swear to you, you turn around 10 seconds later, and he's the host of American Idol, and he's just doing everything on everything. By the way, those game show gigs, they're the best gigs in the world.
Yeah, you told me something that I had never
They
knew.
shoot the whole season in like 10 weeks. It's only like 10 weeks worth of work. They'll shoot 4 or 5 or 6 episodes a day. You come in, it's kind of 9 to 5. You bang out 4 or 5 episodes, go home, do the whole year's worth of shows
incredible.
in a month or two.
Okay, so what do they do? I'm sure they have themes based on holidays and everything else. I can't remember.
Dress the set and Christmas
So you're
theme.
dressing the set of Christmas in June?
Pat, put on a Santa tie. Vanna, put on a red dress. Okay, here we go.
Gosh.
We're off and running.
What an absolute
And
mockery.
They pay, Slee.
Oh, of
Game
course they
show
pay.
host is
Yeah.
a good gig.
I thought I had a good joke when we were in the break. And I said it twice, and both times it went either right past you or you ignored it on purpose.
Okay, let's try me a third time.
I'm going to try a third time. Maybe it's better on air. I said we should do that. We should record all our shows within 11 to 12 weeks. And there was nothing there. And I'm like, really? I was like, that was decent. So then I pushed for it again. I said, Trav, you know what we should do? We should record all our shows in 10 to 11 weeks.
You're like, maybe he didn't hear me.
And then again, you're like, Seacrest, another gig? And then I heard the promo coming on that we're coming back. Sometimes they don't hit, Tyler.
Sometimes
you
he's
just gotta
explaining
keep
a
at it,
joke.
man. Keep at it.
Sometimes they don't hit.
If I stopped and with stuff that didn't hit, I would have been out after like the first 5 minutes of the first show, right? You just got to keep throwing pitches. They're going to throw a lot of balls in the dirt.
This
Just
is
keep
the only
moving.
problem I have. The problem I have is there's times where I know that fastball was nowhere near the plate. I thought it painted the corner.
Thought you got a corner.
I thought, and then if I hit it, if I painted it in the corner, and then the next pitch it was actually a little bit closer to the center, and still nothing. I'm looking at the ump like, give me something here.
We need some robot umps.
We need
for comedy.
robot umps, right?
We need
Like
robot
in
umps.
Seattle last
And you know
night.
what? Sometimes the best thing about a joke is explaining it. Explaining
Yes, that
jokes are
always,
really.
that always- no, let me tell you why that was funny. Right, that's
This
never
is what you didn't get.
Where you have to
It's the
reposition
distraction.
yourself and say, take a seat. Let me
that's
kind of
the
walk you
joke.
through this.
You must not have heard me. Let me
Okay,
try this
I
again.
actually got into this last night. So at the end of the Angel game ended like in a very funny Angel White Sox way. So but the person who is the responsible for why the play didn't go wrong was Bummer is his last name. And so I quote tweeted the video saying Bummer.
Okay.
And people were trying to get at me about what happened in the game, Angel strategy, and I was like,
so
the joke is Bummer.
Let me explain her tweet, because I saw her tweet and it was very confusing. So for those who don't know, it was a wild pitch.
Look at the video. That's the whole thing.
Wild pitch.
It was a wild pitch at the end of the game. So I just see that. I'm like, oh, because she wrote Bummer on there, and that was it. And I'm looking at the video. I'm like, oh, well, does that mean the Angels lost the game? I think we all are on the same.
Maybe Emily's a secret White Sox
well,
fan.
No, I think we're all on the same page here where I got no skin in the game with the Angels. I want to see Shohei in the playoffs.
Right, of course,
I want to see Trout in the playoffs.
So you're seeing it as a fan of the sport.
That's how I'm looking at it. And it's Trout that scored, right?
Yes. But the last shot of the clip is the shot of his last name, which says Bummer.
Correct. But then I'm confused because now I'm looking at Trout, and I'm like, is he injured? I'm watching Trout I'm like, is he holding his shoulder? And then at the absolute end, it just says Bummer in the name. And I'm like, okay, that one took a second to develop.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, and then I just moved on.
Exactly. Not a great joke. You try to do it, and then people react to it.
I respect the hustle. You're gonna swing and miss occasionally.
Exactly.
That's how it's gonna happen. All right, we got some suggestions on how you get out of that date that's not going great. Let's try Tony in Los Angeles. Tony, you're on with Trav and Sleep. What's up, Tony?
What's up? First, I want to say it's an honor to be on the air with the man of the people, Travis Rogers, and the host of the year, Playoff Sliwa. I just want to say it's an honor to be on the air with you guys.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony.
But first, I'm going to say I'm going to be like Henry Hill in Goodfellas. I'm going in and going out. I'm getting the dessert as soon as we're in the entrees. I'm getting the check as soon as we get the dessert, because if it's not going to work, I'm not wasting my time. I'm just going to be like Henry Hill and walk you in and walk you out. There we go.
Thank you, Tony. Look, I get it. You don't want to be rude, but you also just want to get it over with as quickly as you can. And I guess just by saying this isn't going great, that's inherently rude. That just by definition, but
sometimes you gotta lie. No one wants to know that they don't like you to their face.
Sacrificing.
But what if you're getting the vibe back that they don't like you either? Then is it rude
this
at
is
that
the grace
point?
of society. Don't tell
But
people
doesn't
you
it
don't like
kind
them.
of become a little fun? Like, just under that scenario.
See who likes the other person least?
It's almost as if, remember we were talking yesterday that the Angels scored, 24 runs, whatever they did?
25.
25 runs. You start reaching a point where you're like, yeah, this blowout's awesome. You kind of start reaching a point in that date saying, yeah, this is going awful. Let's kind of see where it goes. I might get a couple good stories out of this thing.
Let's try Ruben in Orange County. Ruben, you're on with Trav and Slee.
Hey, guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so, I haven't gone on a date in 10 years, and I don't plan on going, but if I was and I wasn't interested, you start talking about yourself, you start talking about how many kids you have, you start talking about your ex, and you put the ball in their court. Also, I'm sorry for being deceptive. This is Rubio, and I'm trying to win tickets for the wiffle ball bash. My whole family's going to be there taking the day off, but maybe I could be an alternate.
Well, stay tuned. We're going to give away all week, so we have more opportunities, Rubio, sorry.
Right on, Rubio. Look, even if you don't get the spot in the tournament, come on out and hang out with us. We're going to be out there all day long, July 14th, a long way. But then, okay, to Rubio's point.
So you make it all about you.
You start talking about yourself, which is kind of off-putting for most people.
And try to also sound really crazy a little bit.
For instance?
Well, you say again, you talk about your ex, which no one wants to hear about.
Right.
Oh, man, this person did me so wrong because of the XYZ thing. You pull out all the craziness side of you, putting it on them to end the date, is what Rubio's trying to say, I think.
No, that's what he's going for, but I don't know. That makes you look like a really bad guy.
It's worth a try.
Well, okay, I don't think it's as bad a guy as
Band-Aid.
you saying, hey,
Band-Aid.
I think that this isn't working out. I don't like you. Let's go.
It's not that I don't like you. It's that there's not a connection here.
But
there's no spark. It's just time to move on.
Your
That's not,
personality.
you're a bad guy.
Your personality. I don't think you would do that.
I don't.
You are a
not.
nice guy.
I'm all right. I do, but there are times where it's like, what are we doing here? All right. When I go to Michael's baseball games, okay, my son Michael plays a lot of baseball games, and there's a lot of different parents, and the vast majority of them I enjoy, right? There are a few that I do not.
Sure.
That's one of those, yep, and you just get up and you leave. Like I just can't, guys. And you don't say I'm leaving because I dislike you. They'll start doing whatever it is they do that I don't love. And I'm just
but
like,
you were
I
kind
gotta
of saying
get going over there.
But what you're not saying to them in that situation is, yeah, not really feeling this conversation and leaving.
Of course not, because I don't have to. Now, if we were at a dinner table together
Give you an
and it was
example.
the only way away, I said,
an
you know
example?
what? This is not working out for me.
I got an example for
All
you.
right.
Every time I walk outside, Michelle will have Rookie.
Lady Slee.
Will have Rookie. Lady Slee will have Rookie. And Rookie is like, used to become the mayor of Pasadena, right? He's a freaking cute dog. People stop, say something.
Right.
So she's got to know some people around there. Maybe they have dogs, maybe they don't have dogs. Well, I'm not as talkative. So I just give off the vibe that, hey, good to see you, that, and I just keep going. Now, I'm not telling them I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, but you can't. But in a date situation, you can't just get up and leave without saying anything.
You can't get up and
put like a 50
leave
on the table, and then
No, you can kind of allow the vibe to be the vibe, but I'm also not just. I'm gonna just know that I got to eat I have to eat a bad hour. Let me take that hour and then let me move on. By the way, it's not just dates. You could be hanging out with somebody, whatever the case is, and just kind of be in the same
like
situation.
at a party, like
Party's the easiest one. Party, you can just drift away.
Because like at parties, yeah, you especially if you don't know a bunch of people at this party, you go and you get in a conversation with someone, and obviously it's dying out. Probably can tell either one. My go-to is like either I'm gonna go get another drink or I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I hope that when I come out of whatever that situation is, that person has drifted to somebody else. But I want to hear from Taylor. What do you do if you don't have a good date going on?
He moves back to the family farm.
I say nothing. I had a date with I went on a date with a Norwegian girl one time, and she I don't think was having a good time, and she told me that she just got a call or notification that her friend had died in a snowmobile accident and fallen off a cliff.
What does she live in a Bugs
Jeez.
Bunny
She's
cartoon?
Norwegian, so who knows?
I mean, there's very remote parts of Norway, I think, that you can only reach by snowmobile, and she came back. She came back from the
That's
bathroom very
aggressive.
concerned. I don't know if it was true or not.
It
Maybe
wasn't.
Was.
Let me help you out here. It was not a death, Al.
But that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that can't be made up.
and honestly, that's
Of course it
a
can.
funny
No, it
story.
cannot be made
It has
up.
to be made up.
You don't need to go to that extent to leave whatever he's
Scandinavians
doing.
are genuine. I don't know.
No, Scandinavia. This is
That can't be the first thing that goes to your mind. You know what? I'm going to make up
it's
a
bad
murder.
karma. It's not a murder. It's a motor vehicle accident. It's not a murder.
But you don't need to do that.
So,
You don't need to, but she's saying basically, yeah, this is how much I dislike this date. My friend was just killed in a snowmobile accident.
they
I'm out
drove
here.
off a cliff.
And he's like, this dumb American will believe me.
Slee would have believed you.
I would have said, we're flying out there right now.
Can I get you to this?
We're making
drive you to the
sure.
airport.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn.
They just showed Ohtani's 446 footer again. We're going to talk about him, and I think he's got the title that I never thought I would see any baseball player have. That's next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. Hey, if you get hurt in an accident, you need to know that not all personal injury attorneys are the same because, well, they're just not the same. Sweet James has been awarded Best Attorneys in America, and personal injury, it is all that they do. And their success is driven by their passion to help their clients. You absolutely do not want to take on the insurance companies by yourself. So where does the passion to help the clients come from? In Sweet James's case, it comes from having worked for the insurance companies, seeing how they dealt with their own clients, and saying, that's not good enough. They deserve more. They deserve to get the car fixed. They deserve to get their medical care taken care of. And, of course, they deserve a settlement much greater than what the insurance company is offering. And that's what he's been doing for you for nearly 20 years. He's collected over $1 billion in settlements in that nearly 20-year career. How about that for a winning record? So if you're hurt in an accident, do what I've done, do what my friends have done, do what my family has done, and call the accident attorneys at Sweet James. 1-800-9-MILLION. Easy to remember. 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-900-0000. Of course, you can go online at sweetjames.com. If you are hurt in an accident, call Sweet James. 1-800-9-MILLION and sweetjames.com.
It is a live imaging Tuesday on Travis and Sliwa. You know, Slee, the Brewers beat the Mets last night 2-1 at Citi Field.
Ayo.
Because, it's summer. Summer.
The Mets now are 8 games below 500.
Are they
It's
really?
the worst they've been all season long.
Is that true?
That is.
Oh,
That is
I didn't
true.
know if he was.
16 games out of first place.
I was like, wow, Slee knows his New York, his NL East.
Yeah, it's just,
He's
they're
got
struggling.
his eyes on the wild card race. Is that,
Yeah.
is
No,
that
I don't.
why you know?
I'm done.
You
If
gave
I-
up?
Yeah, I'm done.
If
There's
I put
90
on,
games left
Granted,
now.
I'm going to a game.
if I put eye
a
black
week.
on for today's show, would you join me? Like if I put and I just started had a rosin bag, just throwing rosin everywhere.
Bam!
Chew as well. Or no?
Kaboom!
So would you do official chew or like Big League Chew? Because Big League Chew is fun because you get like the bucket of Big League Chew, and then after 30 seconds you're like.
It's pretty gross after the initial chew.
But if you got to go baseball players, you get like chew, like
Red Man.
Red Man, and then you wrap it in bubble gum, and it's this
We
whole.
should do that in here. We're just
No.
like
Get a spittoon.
and then we're just having sunflower seeds, just spitting the seeds out.
No, because the minute a drop of that actually gets down your throat, you'll be like in the corner screaming, ah! The taste.
Have you ever had the pleasure, Slee?
No.
It's like very few other things. Little chew spit down the wrong.
I accidentally inhaled a cigar the other night, and I coughed for.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's not
I'm
good.
a pretty good cigar pro, and I was coughing for 30 minutes.
You've had the chew spit go bad, right?
No,
No?
thank God. In my back in my dip days, no.
It's only happens once.
But the Family Guy bit when Stewie accidentally gets it is amazing.
That has to be
It's one of the. It has to
the
be one of the worst
worst
things.
So,
taste
question for you.
ever.
We were talking about how to get out of if a date's not going well.
You just don't go.
But
Oh.
you're in the middle of it.
You're already
It's
there.
happened. How
I had it.
How do you get out of it?
It happened once back in my Match.com days. So this was like 15 years ago, and you could feel it. And I
Right.
just said, "Listen, I'm going to use the restroom, and then I'm going to leave." And
how long were you guys already sitting?
10
assuming
minutes.
You also paid for the meal.
it was
or
like
no
a
meal?
Starbucks one, so I already knew we were.
Oh,
off
no,
to
you're good at that.
We were
That's-
off to a
that's
rough start with like, "Oh yeah, let's meet us." I was like, okay, this is going to.
So
be...
you literally, I'm going to use the bathroom.
I said, "I'm
and
going to use
leaving.
the restroom."
Yep.
I think I had bought the coffee or whatever
Yeah.
already.
Did you order dinner too? Like, we got a spinach feta wrap coming. Chris, double toasted spinach feta wrap.
Yeah,
It's ready.
yeah. I do like the spinach feta wrap.
Oh no, it's
That's a nice
delicious.
edge.
It is good.
But sometimes you got to put it in the toaster oven separate. We used to do that at
Right,
the
of
old morning show days when Travis would skip the bill.
Yeah, he's not.
It's only partially true.
Every Wednesday he wouldn't order.
Morales, what was her reaction
Yes.
to
Her
that?
reaction was, I understand. I feel the same way.
See, that's what I said.
Okay,
Because
but,
here's the thing. Why are we going to waste another 40 minutes pretending?
Thank you.
Okay,
Well-
but again, you guys are the ones that are on me for pretending to enjoy talking to people in the elevator.
That's circumstance.
An elevator ride is 30 seconds long.
No,
It's
no,
a
no.
long 30
No, no,
seconds,
no.
though,
No, no, no.
sometimes.
That circumstance is much different than we were talking about.
Do you know what I do?
Being
I
at a Starbucks for a coffee, that's a much easier exit.
I just did it in the elevator ride on the way up here. With Tommy was in there, and then a stranger who didn't say good morning or anything. And not that you need to, but
Had
I
the
usually
head down?
I'm usually, yeah. So our floor opens up. I put my foot, I got the cowboy boot on it so it can't shut. And I look over. Have a great day. And I wait until you look up at me and say, yeah, you too.
But see, you like those.
Yeah, it's a
super
power move for you.
awkward
It's not a power move. It's
interreactions.
just hopefully that person realizes it's okay to talk to strangers.
Of course it is.
Say good
But
morning.
also, sometimes it's okay not to talk to strangers.
No, that's what's
I've
the
been
problem.
taught that.
No,
It's probably
that's the problem
society.
with the world. Is we're not
Is it-
talking to
A
strangers.
little good morning.
Is it
not
the
gonna-
problem with the world that we're not talking to
Yes,
strangers?
because nobody knows how to communicate.
Social lubricant.
Yeah,
we
well,
need,
easy now.
we need a
There's
little
10:35 in the morning.
Yeah, there's other
social
ways.
lubricant.
I think
And
we
then
can
you just ditch someone in the
explain
middle of a
By the
day.
way, Braves beat the
20 minutes
Nationals
in.
last night 4-2. What was it?
It was
The
Seattle
Braves
beat the
beat the
Nationals.
Twins.
Braves beat the
4-1.
Twins in Minnesota
Atlanta.
or in Atlanta?
Truist Park.
In the Dirty?
Yes.
Truist
Well, not,
Park?
Not anymore.
Twins
It's
now
out- it's
40
out
and
in
40 on the
suburbs.
season.
It's not Jack Murphy Stadium anymore?
That was in San Diego.
Oh,
You're
I'm
thinking
sorry.
of Ted Turner Field.
No, before Ted Turner
Oh,
Field.
Fulton County.
Fulton County.
Oh,
Yes.
but Chris, you need to hear Taylor's story about someone leaving him in the middle of a date.
Somebody left you in the middle of a date?
Yeah, so I was not dating,
This
but
was
on a date with a Norwegian
Friday?
with a Norwegian girl, and she was telling me about how they get around in Norway in a spy snowmobile because it's so remote. And she came back from the bathroom and told me that her friend had actually just died in a snowmobile accident and driven off a
You should have
cliff.
warned me that was coming and not to take a sip of coffee. I don't think that was getting out of a date. I think if somebody made up that their friend died to leave
That's
the
what
date.
I was saying. I'm like, you can't just make that up.
Okay, this guy on
Of course you
Survivor.
can.
This guy on Survivor lied that his grandmother died so that he could win a challenge.
He's on Survivor.
Right,
Okay.
that was written in the
Wait a minute,
script.
hold on.
That's a
Emily,
little different.
You realize
than
there's a difference
Taylor's.
between reality television
Yes.
that's produced and Taylor at a
But you're
coffee
still-
date.
Mikey, your grandma died. You're going to say that in about 30 minutes.
But if you're the production didn't know about it. But if you're lying about someone dying, there's consequences.
to win a
everywhere.
television show.
Don't you get $1 million too?
No, but he won a challenge, which he got.
What did
like,
this
some
woman
food.
win by
She got to
lying?
not have to eat dinner with Taylor.
Not have to date with
I'm
Taylor.
the only one that thinks that story was real.
I would hope
I'm
that
the only
I
one
would
that thinks
hope
that story
for the
was
good
real.
of society
Yeah.
that somebody would be worried about the karmic
karma.
debt, which I believe in.
I do too.
To make up a story other than just saying, "Hey, man, I don't really feel this. Why waste our time with dinner? Go have dinner with somebody else."
Yeah.
To say, "Hey, my best friend just died."
In a snowmobile accident.
That's pretty specific.
She set up the idea of a snowmobile accident.
It was way too convenient.
Exactly.
So
But
you think
set
she made it up?
Of course she made it up.
She didn't make it up.
Of course she
Nope.
did.
How would
You
they
can't-
find her if she
you
drove into the
can't-
ocean?
Okay, hold on.
You
Let
can't
me ask you
just
this
say,
question.
you can't say, my friend just died. Can we get the calamari? You can't do that.
Did she say it like, oh my God, my friend?
I mean,
was
she-
just, or did she go, hey, my
She
friend just died in a snowmobile accident, and I need to get back for the funeral. Like, give me the delivery.
She appeared crestfallen. I mean, she was just kind of
Crestfallen, not devastated like her friend had just been
And then-
killed in a motor vehicle accident.
I have terrible news, Taylor.
Crestfallen is, damn.
Yeah, that's your team
that's
losing 3 in a
We
row.
lost another one. I mean,
That's what that is.
Can I ask another question? By the way, Expos beat the Rangers last night. Was there any
Did Andre Dawson have any hits?
the Hawk?
The Expos.
He was a Hawk, right?
He
That's what they
was
call
the
him, the Hawk.
It sounds like a pretty common thing in Norway.
But let me ask you a
people
follow
die.
up here, because the darker side of me would say this is an opportunity now. If this really happened, to
Console.
but
Let's
also
go back home.
There's a natural follow up. How are you doing? So did you ever follow up with her? Like,
Do you need a
hey,
hug?
How are you doing? No, like honestly, just leave. In that moment, if I was on a
Later
date with-
on, you're
right,
saying,
the
did
next
you follow
morning,
up?
hey,
Yeah, I did follow up. Yeah.
and was it like? Did it seem
she
authentic or not at all?
respond?
she seemed like she was still upset.
And you've never talked to her since, or tried to go out
But
with
over
her?
text. So.
I think I might follow her on Instagram.
How long ago did this happen?
Yeah. Do you see pictures of the funeral on Instagram? Because if she's posting fake funeral photos, then she's really
that's
She's
pretty
committed.
far.
Yeah,
Probably it was like a year and a half ago, I guess.
It's amazing.
I just don't think you can make it up.
I don't think so either for the good of humanity, but who knows?
Yeah, because we know that humanity is nothing but bright, sunny people.
Yeah, but
there's no
but-
dark souls out there.
Listen, the
willing
dark
to tell,
souls-
say,
But to-
ugly
The
but
dark
here's the thing.
souls don't need to come out in that simple of a, I just am done with having dinner with Taylor.
But this is
That's not where the dark soul needs
If
to
it
be
was
revealed.
like if it was dinner with Ireland or Kaplan, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I can understand how they made that choice. But with Taylor, like she's
it-
making up that story
It's not a reflection
to get out
on
of dinner with Taylor. Like to me, that would be enjoyable. Taylor's a good-looking guy. He's tall.
It's a reflection on there are people that just don't give a damn and will say whatever they want to get out of anything they don't want to do, including my friend was just destroyed in a snowmobile
That's pretty
crash.
specific. I'm sorry, that's
It's
specific.
very specific.
But it's also like a Norwegian, and they get around on snowmobiles a lot more. So I don't
Would
know.
you make up a story like that?
No,
Ed?
So are you going to get the
obviously I
lasagna to
wouldn't.
go?
It's
Or
karma. But I'm not crazy.
are we staying here for dinner? Or what are we doing here? That seems like a lot.
You should have
Expo's pool was a great pool.
You
by
should have
the way.
played like the Norwegian national anthem on your phone at that moment. Sorry, let's do it. Moment of silence here.
Norwegian
peace.
funeral procession music.
We're
Why
out
not?
to see.
Why not? You going to stay for Hey Did You See?
Yeah, sure. Why not? All right. You gonna give me another random baseball score?
Hey, did you
Sure.
see that?
You've got the Tigers beat the Rangers 7-2 last night
7-2
Ayo.
in Texas.
in Texas.
At the aluminum can.
That's a bad new ballpark.
It is bad.
It looks like a barn.
It does.
It's off center. It's got a weird shape. There's nothing about it other than the Dodgers won their World Series there a couple of years ago. There's nothing.
Oh,
about
that time that
place.
Clayton Kershaw made it through the playoffs.
Well, it's not going to happen this year.
Sorry.
He's on fumes right now. Corey Seager, 359. He's hitting 359.
Oh, my
No
Good
four
part of a
gosh.
guy like that. What's that, Em?
No Luis Arias.
No, he's not Luis Arias, but by the way, 399. There's your daily
He's
list.
back to 399.
He
Went down.
I think he only had one hit on Sunday. They didn't play yesterday. He's at 399. Are you following the chase for 400, Morales?
No. But is it something we need
Again,
to make a
grease
promo
the
about?
wheel,
Not
Chris,
quite
come
yet.
on.
In another month, maybe.
Yeah, in a month.
Yeah.
If we get to August 1st and he's still
heck
flirting
yeah.
at 400.
You guys missed it last Tuesday because I started doing this promo voice about the NBA draft coverage. The NBA draft war room. And Sedano's got embeds, and he's got... No, you were here for a second, right? Johan Buhan is in the Dallas Mavericks draft war room. I don't want to hurt my voice so early in the day, but can you
Did
imagine
you do
the
your Mario
promo?
impression?
No, that's Kaplan does the Mario
Kaplan
impression.
does a good Mario.
Yeah.
LAFC.
This is like a mix
LAFC.
of Mario with the Westwood One guy. Westwood One son of a ball. That guy. But we could do...
Quest for Banner 18.
Yeah, we're still on Banner 18.
Chris, the Nationals lost to the Mariners 8-4.
It is a final.
Orioles 10-3.
You know what would be great? It's
over
too
the
bad there's
Reds.
not Tuesday getaway games. Because imagine if I just did updates of some random game all day.
Oh, that'd be
and
great.
Ireland would get into it. Like, hey, man. So, and then he would start just giving random updates of stuff.
The Mariners have gone to the pen in the 4th inning.
They're calling him up.
All right.
So you can do it later. First, earliest game we got is at 4. And by the way, Orioles Reds, to give updates
Is
on
Barry
the
Larkin-
Orioles
Cruz.
Is Barry
Reds.
Larkin playing?
No, but
Chris
Ellie
Sabo?
David- Todd Benzinger, Hal Morris.
I had a Chris Sabo. I don't know why. Starting lineup figurine. Remember the old starting
Oh, yeah?
lineup figurines?
Did it have the goggles?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I don't
Sabo
know.
had the goggles.
I was in love with random baseball players from other teams. Because the Dodgers weren't... They had broken my heart in the early 90s.
In the
kind of.
90s was not their strong suit.
I got into the Brett Butler coming and Darryl Strawberry and Eric Davis.
Darryl
I got to
Strawberry
do it
didn't work out. ED was a good Dodger, briefly.
for a second.
Baseball talk.
Love it.
Well,
Let's
what
talk
el-
more about Luisa Rise. Let's talk more about snowmobile fatalities. We got a lot of things to get
Yeah, I got a
into
lot
today.
of questions, Taylor. I want to follow this woman on Instagram and see if it's true.
Hey, did you see? Coming up next, it's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Is your vehicle due for service? Before you hit the road for your 4th of July weekend, head in your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. Because for over 30 years, Valvoline has provided quick and convenient automotive maintenance services for busy people just like you, which means no dragging the kids into a dirty waiting room. At Valvoline, you stay in your car nice and safe. You can relax, stare at your phone, close your eyes, while the expert technicians make sure that your ride is in peak performance. Oil changes, tire rotations, transmission care, and more. Pull up, drive in, and drive out in about 15 minutes. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
And it is Travis and Sliwa, and it's time for the segment we do around this time, 10:40 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Hey, did you see that sky today?
Did you guys see that?
Basically, the days we don't do Ask Slee, we do this thing. It's called Hey, Did You See?
Did you see that?
Yes, but I did it.
Did you see the memo about this?
I mean, I'm excited. You can tell by my read. Hey, did you see? Oh, hey, did you happen to see? It's time for Hey, Did You See?
Hey, man, did you touch my drum set?
Have you read this? Right now on Travis and Sliwa.
So we've got today, we've got Thursday, and then we're done with Hey, Did You See? Or we only got 2 left, Taylor?
I think, yeah, that's correct. 2 left.
Wow.
I better make them good.
I was going to say,
Hey,
they
did you
better
see?
make them count, my friend. What do you got?
Okay, guys. Did
Every
you see?
Tuesday, Thursday, you better be calling in, bro.
Be on the road
we
somewhere
need this segment.
Colorado making his way.
I'm sure you found a replacement. Okay, did you see that more than 150,000 catalytic converters were stolen across the U.S. last year? So, last night, actually, I got some, I don't know, scary news. I came out this morning.
Your friend wasn't killed in a Norwegian snowmobile, was it?
So I came up to my truck this morning, and I noticed that there were a bunch of clothes and stuff in the back that were missing, and they were like thrown all over my yard. And
It's a freaking raccoon.
I started my truck, and it sounded a little funny. So I had my landlord look at the Ring camera that we have on the garage, and somebody I have a picture of was trying to, I think, saw off my catalytic
Oh my gosh,
converter.
really?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So I don't know if they need it more than I do, or if they don't want me to leave, or don't want me to leave California, or what the deal is here. But it's kind of scary. So my question is, what's a dead giveaway that someone is a piece of crap?
Yeah, they're still catalytic converters.
Well, I think stealing auto parts is a pretty good place to start. No, I think it's fundamental dishonesty, right? Here's the thing. Every once in a while, there's a situation where you have to tell a little white lie to make the grease of the world go around.
Right, like a date where you want to leave
not
an hour
hurt somebody's
early.
feelings. Sure.
Or if you want to interact in an
sorts of things.
elevator.
No,
But-
Slee, that night show was great.
Fundamental dishonesty.
Oh, no, Chris, everybody loves lit. Go ahead.
See, that was good, though. Did you see that volley?
That was very good. Fundamental dishonesty on things that
Do you not
don't
like
need to be
lit?
dishonest
Do you
about.
not like lit?
Go ahead.
Here we go. We're in
I
the
feel
middle
like
here.
we got something here. I think we should go back and forth. When you're constantly lying for things you don't need to lie about, that's the number one tell. Dishonesty. Sliwa.
Yeah, Slee, go.
Lying is by far the best way to tell if somebody is a piece of, you know what. To lie and to just pretend like, to look actually somebody in the eye and tell them, yeah, this, that, blah, 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 and it's completely false. You don't believe it. How do you just do that and then just walk away the rest of your day like no problem at all? All the other stuff that goes on, I think the lying part is the most kind of like the foundation of a bad person.
Christopher?
I think I said it last segment, yeah. Like lying. I mean, if you're lying about certain things, that's pretty bad. Honestly.
Like Norwegian snowmobile
Yes.
accident.
Yes.
That's the
Or
worst
someone
thing.
dying,
That-
yeah.
Also,
just
somebody that
using
just-
that as a no problem.
The gossip human being is somebody, not that like, hey, by the way, did you see Slee? He looks sad today. Maybe you want to talk to him. I hear he's going through something, whatever. That's trying. Yeah, it's a little bit of gossip, but it's also, hey, you have a good relationship with Slee. Maybe you can talk to him. The constant, everyday gossip person. Because if they're gossiping about other people to you, guess what they're doing about your stuff?
Yep.
So
Gossiping
that's
to
a really
somebody else.
a bad person, honestly.
So
Em?
for me, again, okay, so let me preface this by saying if someone does address me in an elevator, I will talk to them. You know, I'll make eye contact with them and I'll talk to them. I just don't normally instigate the conversation. But if you're trying to talk to somebody and they will not look up from their phone, regardless of how many times you're trying to talk to them, and it's more than like 10 seconds of a conversation, if they're not looking up from their phone, that's a piece of you know what.
Slee, have you felt this way about Lit for a while? Or is
No,
it
no,
Hey,
no,
guys.
no. I just didn't know you felt that way about the.
I was a big fan of the night
Slee,
show.
don't you have to go take care of something over there? You know,
I'm
get
getting
out of the segment
I'm
early.
getting a call
Nope, I
from your
don't have to go
cousin who's in
anywhere.
Norway.
Cousin Slee.
Get out of here.
I don't have to go anywhere. I'm staying right here.
Next up, guys, did you see that on average, LA motorists are losing 62 hours to the gridlock, a figure that's nearly twice the nationwide amount?
Jesus.
Take the train.
So, would you rather be stuck in LA traffic every day for the rest of your life or try to find a needle in a haystack?
Also, Chris, you talk about so many times the train doesn't run on time.
It doesn't. It's actually become a bigger issue, but it's still better than sitting in traffic.
Sleep.
I'll take the traffic, and this is the only reason why. I'm not a fan of traffic, but I get opportunities to just distract myself. I'm making phone calls, listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Doesn't call me. But.
whatever.
You don't get pricked by a needle.
Whatever it was before that people were doing. I know they're just listening to radio, whatever.
Yeah,
but
they were listening to radio.
They were listening to radio. But at the same time, you kind of find you can distract yourself so easily today. I'll take the traffic. 1 hour of bad traffic. It's all good.
I know this is weird. It doesn't bother me at all. And I don't know if it's just being conditioned over 50 years of being in L.A. and in bad traffic, but
That has to be what it is.
To like you said, I can get on the phone. I can check in with my parents. I can call Susan.
Does he call you?
I occasionally. Listen to a podcast. I do not hate it. It's one of the few times you're completely alone by yourself. In my life, I got people in the house all the time. I do not mind the quiet time of being stuck in the car. I really don't.
Is a needle in a haystack a real thing? Do needles end up in haystacks?
You could put one in there.
Yeah, Taylor.
Well, you're the farm guy. Is that something that happens a lot? Like needles end up in haystacks?
I think it's more an expression.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I don't like to sit in traffic.
Would you rather you take the needle in a haystack?
Do I have to drive in the traffic, or am I just sitting in the traffic with the driver?
I think he has to drive.
No, you're in the back seat of your Uber Black.
Well, that's
yeah,
fine.
but if you're in the
because
back seat, anyone would take that. I'm
no,
just kicking back.
because a lot of people get car sick. I have a friend. She
I get
wears like
car
special
sick.
goggles. No joke. That help her not get car sick.
Yeah, I've seen those on
Yeah.
like, TikTok and stuff. It's essentially to like.
She's a TikTok influencer, so she might do it for the bit, but
it
also
levels your like peripheral, so it's an issue with your
a
inner
real
ear, and so it levels your periphery, and so that you don't have to do that. So I actually am I've almost gotten those, but I usually have like gum.
I
or something
need
when I'm
those
in the
when
back
my
of the
girl
car.
drives.
Yeah.
Are you saying Lady Sleeves what? Fast or slow?
More on the fast side.
Oh.
I'm more on the slow side.
Because producer Lindsay during LACC, it's a slow drive. It's
But
a slow
I'd
drive.
rather have slow than every turn is like
It's
this.
just
Susan
slow.
drives like Jeff Gordon.
But at least you get there on
She's
time.
Yeah, at least you get there.
unbelievable. I guess.
I mean, I've got the one with the driving anxiety. I'm like, hey, Lynn, so maybe you
But
know,
wouldn't you
can
rather have
Pull over
Lindsay
and let
drive
you
it?
drive.
No, like this is a freeway. We can go 70 on this one. I mean,
He gives me when I've driven. It's like a little fast there.
that's because it's 12 o'clock at night and you're going 95 in a carpool lane.
Was it
Trav
95?
going 95?
It's like 85. It's like 85.
He's telling me stories about the old Rome days. I'm like, yeah, I think I heard that one. Just keep going. Maybe we keep looking.
So then he said rack 'em.
Last
not
one,
true.
guys. Last one. Did you see that 42% of Americans feel compelled to give gifts during the holiday season, even if they can't afford it? So, Trav, what would be the perfect present for someone that you despise?
Bad wine. Bad wine, because it goes to show that you had to go make an effort to go to the 7-Eleven or
jacked
whatever, but you
Yeah.
buy that $6 bottle of wine on the bottom shelf.
Like a $2 chuck.
Yeah, so something that's on
now
the
I have to
bottom
go and
shelf of
throw
the
it
grocery
out.
store. Right.
Whereas
But
you
also,
could've
you can still get drunk off of it. So
Yeah,
it
but you're
still
going
can
to
help.
have you had really bad wine?
have.
Like what
It's
Slee
not
gave
great.
Morales?
Well, so here's the thing: is
Was
that
it a
more
bad bottle?
Is
Was
that
it-
more painful, or somebody gives you a pretty good bottle, but gives somebody else a really good bottle?
The one you
How
gave
did
us, Lee,
that
was
get
very
out?
nice.
I know. You
How
told
did
the
it get
story.
out?
I know.
People
Come
you
on,
told
how
the
did it
story.
get out? Come on,
Lit.
how did it get out? I think there was a billboard about it.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so I would say it's also getting them something you know they wouldn't like. So just you went to the effort. The wine is a good example, but
It is a good example.
if I get you something knowing that you have no interest
Carton
in
of
it
cigarettes?
at all. No interest at all. If you said, like, it's an example. Carton of cigarettes. If,
Took a minute for you to get there. Slee.
well, I was trying to get to where my example is going to be. If you said, man, this restaurant I just don't like. I'm like, cool.
Gift card.
Cool. Here's a gift card to California Pizza Kitchen. I'm just throwing a restaurant out there where it's like, why the hell would he get that? Well, I did it for a reason.
Or like you don't like a show a lot or something, and you get them like a T-shirt from that show, and you're like
Box set of
clearly-
DVDs.
Yeah, clearly never going to use,
Or
especially DVDs.
Director's cut for white chicks for Emily.
Yes,
Is there a
exactly.
director's cut?
Probably.
Emily, that was the
I don't-
deal breaker
okay,
for her. She
I
went on
don't
a
What if
date.
it was a
dislike
used
white chicks.
Foreman
It's just
grill?
not it can't be your favorite movie of all
Here's
time.
the thing: that movie was on when I got my last back wax. The back wax person, she has her own studio in Fullerton. The great Mary Wynn. That
Imagine.
video was on, and it actually, I realized I was laughing and I wasn't paying attention to the pain.
It's a funny movie.
It is a
But
great
your
movie.
favorite
That's their
movie of all
go-to
time.
movie.
Well, no, I think
In
she
the
just. I think she just has streaming.
background
streaming on.
But if look, it's not
He's gonna
Gone
feel
with
the
the
pain.
Wind
Throw
or
on.
something. But it's not. I mean, it's not a terrible movie. It's
No,
kind
it's a
of
good movie.
throwaway,
But
but
it-
it's fine.
And never mind. I'm not going to relitigate this again and again. It's fine.
All right, now we're doing Shohei. I think
Sure.
Unless Chris has something that he might have
Well,
have a National League
I
scoreboard.
was going to say, what's the
update.
latest update
Well,
on?
did you know the Orioles beat the Reds last night at
Ew.
Camden Yards, 10-3.
That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Hey, don't forget, we got this very cool thing we got going with Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC. We are teaming up to recognize 10 high school juniors and seniors who have excelled in both the classroom and in the community. Go to espnla.com and nominate your child or student, and the 10 All-Star students will receive $250 in cash and a VIP experience at our 710 ESPN All-Star Friday event coming up on July 14th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Make your nominations today at espnla.com. Put some money in a kid's pocket and get them an afternoon they will not forget. Special thanks to Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC for giving back to our community.
ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
11 a.m. straight up on a live imaging Tuesday.
Lit.
Stand by, I just got to finish replying to this email. It's about what Slee just said on the air last segment.
Did you reply all, or is it individual?
So GKB is a big anti reply all unless there's a purpose. Like the reply all thanks or good job. No. You
They don't
reply
want that.
directly. You reply
That's why
directly.
Sam
Well,
hasn't
that's how
talked to me in
everything
weeks.
should happen.
Yes. No, he will. Of all people, he will not do a reply all, and you will get litigated, to use Emily's term. If you reply all and it wasn't good, you're gonna get an email about why did you reply all.
Good to know.
What if I replied all and I wrote reply all?
Well, so if you do a bit about the reply all rule,
He'll like
then
that.
he'll like that.
Okay. All right. You got a little more information.
Yeah, there's actually a funny story.
Sliwa just said reply all and replied all.
For the table.
There's a funny story again. This goes into like lying about things or whatever. So at my old job at Network, I'm not gonna say any names in case our boss just.
What is their names rhyme with?
But this guy, you used to have to like email a specific place if you felt sick. So you're like, oh, this email is where you say, hey, I'm not feeling well because XYZ happened. I will be out on this day, whatever. So instead of replying to the place he was supposed to, he sent it to a different email, which got to everybody at our work. and it's like, hey guys, I got food poisoning. I won't be able to make it to work. Obviously, food poisoning is one of like the clear lies about it, and then everyone then knew that either he had food poisoning or he was lying, and then replied all like making fun of him.
Food poisoning is a good lie because nobody wants details on it because it can only mean two things.
Then you haven't talked to Cappy recently because when he says he's got it, he's going to give you every detail.
Have you ever
and pictures?
Neither.
Have you ever by mistake replied all? And it was something that you should not have sent?
The first part, yes. The second part, no. I've replied all, not meaning to. But
that's how he's here, not with Jim anymore.
But what I have sent was not harmful. I've never had the harmful one, thankfully. Not yet, at least.
You have to be so when those things come up where you want to say something, but just to one person about that email, you have to do the separate email, not even the forward, because in my mind, sometimes how somebody is getting it when everything's the same subject. Sometimes people, corporate Greg, get confused, and then it creates havoc. No, that never happened. I just threw his name in there. So you create a completely separate email that's like, no, thank God.
Yet?
I've replied all accidentally, but it wasn't bad.
What about a wrong text? Like you're supposed to talk to
I did do
Mom,
that.
but you send it to Meredith. You know?
So years ago.
No, Mom got something she shouldn't have. It was the reverse.
Oh, no.
Years ago. It's like maybe 10 years ago or so. On the sales side, there was one of the sales reps at the time, okay? I'll tell you guys off the air who it was, okay? We get those emails that randomly come in from ESPN, and one of them was like a technology something, like it's the head of the technology. It goes to the whole company.
Right.
And it's just one of those emails that gets sent out for whatever it is. God bless his soul. This idiot replied to all and was putting in a joke of like, my laptop, I have issues with this and the technology. He's just sending out a joke to, supposedly it's supposed to be about 3 or 4 of us on the sales side. He sent it out to everybody.
And it went to the whole company.
All
a lot of
ESPN.
It went to everybody.
A lot of those distro lists now you can lock, so only certain people can reply all. So back then you probably couldn't.
So he sends it out as a joke, sends it to everybody, and we all are just like, you just sent that to everybody.
And at the time, like Michael Eisner replied, hey, we'll get on it.
So then he has to then explain to our manager that it was just a joke. The manager has to explain to his boss that it was just a joke. And the boss replies back to the manager saying, that wasn't very funny, which then went back to the guy.
And this is all on the same chain.
This is all. No. That was now all becoming personal. But we're all just like walking to his cube. My brother, you just sent that to everybody. How do I take it back? I don't know how you take it back. You're not taking it back.
Once it's gone, it's gone. I clicked something on our All-Star Friday night thing that I'm still getting invitation declines and approvals. I got
something from you.
I don't even know how I did it.
Yeah.
I tried to click accept, and it went everywhere.
I got an email from you on Friday or something,
I don't
and
know.
it said softball this, and it's from Travis Rosenberg.
It's not
Fresno.
I clicked
Did you
the thing.
forward it? Because a lot of times what happens with calendar invites is if you forward them to somebody that you want them to know, it'll
Maybe.
like add them to something, and then everybody starts getting it creates
I think
havoc.
I just clicked
Corporate cock.
accept the
Well,
invite.
that shouldn't create havoc.
I obviously didn't just do that. Maybe I
It was
forwarded.
like a reminder that you sent me that the date has changed for the softball game. We have a draft coming up, by the way.
1 o'clock. So
Yeah,
we're
1
going to
o'clock.
draft today. Team Sliwa versus Team Mace during Super Crosstalk. And on social media at ESPN Los Angeles, you can see the full team. There's 18 possible players. Of course, I don't have confirmation from Pepe that he's going to be doing the color commentary with me. But we'll be doing the play-by-play on social media that night. Of course, we're going to do an all-day broadcast Friday, July 14th, the West Covina Sportsplex. So the possibilities. Corporate Greg, producer Lindsay, Andy Kamenetsky, MC of the Year, Salesperson of the Year, Marketing Consultant, Ron Mitchell, Producer Laura, Shinano, Producer Jorge, Producer Funches, Brian Kamenetsky, the great Kirk Morrison, Mario, Ruiz, Ramona, Momo, another great salesperson, Matt Burke, Producer Emily, Cappy, T-Raj, Shafi, the Director of Sales, General Sales
And
Manager.
also the challenger for the beer chugging.
Are you
Yeah.
guys going to chug?
the rumor. I'm up for it.
I was seeing, by the way, and I know you're not too worried about it, but DeAndre was telling me yesterday, he's like, look, I'm ready to go. He's showing me a video of Parker. Parker sent him a video. He's ready to
Wait a
go.
minute, these guys are chugging too?
They're chugging.
By the
They
way,
were chugging back there yesterday
Last-
during the show.
That's fine.
Just
Last
practice.
person, Clinton Yates, of course, the big CY on the list. So, by the way, Parker, Cody, and DeAndre, you hear their names thrown out a lot on our social media team, the Fun and Games Department. They just launched a podcast over the weekend. So we'll have more details on that. We're going to talk about that. You can find that in the community, the COT, the Twitter community. So, Slee, you have a big decision.
Do we know who drafts first?
Well, I think we're going to flip a coin.
Flip?
Corporate Greg, I think, is the master of the rules or something. But
okay.
I think we flip a coin. Mm-hmm. And is that Corporate Greg? Oh, no, he's just
he's hanging out.
I mean,
he's hanging out.
You on the radio, Greg.
Nope, he doesn't even hear.
Not hearing it.
He's no idea what's going on.
Stephanie and him get Thursdays. They get Panini Grill.
Okay.
So they're probably planning out the Thursday lunch.
Panini Grill's pretty good.
It's great.
Yeah.
I like Panini.
Who doesn't like that?
Still has no idea.
Yeah.
There's not one speaker on out there that just gives him the attention.
What's your big board look like?
I don't want to give. How do I make sure that I don't give too much details? Because
how about this? Give
I'm
us
assuming
your top, give us your top 3 prospects on the board at your first pick.
Well, Kirk is obviously everybody's top prospect.
He's Ken Griffey Jr. coming into this thing. Automatic number 1.
By the way, Mariners beat the anyway.
Nats.
In D.C. or Seattle?
Seattle.
In the Kingdom.
Yes.
If
Bad call to end the game, Chris.
If I'm right, I think Cap's already on my team. Sedano's already on Mason's team.
Sure.
I think that's the way that we had already set it up.
How would Cap be your top prospect? He gave away the game last year.
Well, Cap's already on my team.
Okay.
Yeah, he's already on my team.
Yeah.
Sedano's already over there.
Great.
So I think we're all going after Kirk.
Okay.
For the number 1 pick. I think that one's fair.
Ask Kirk.
And then after that...
That was an old bit.
Is that how Ashley started?
Yes.
Is that what you
Travis
guys had
tries
said?
to deny it, but that's not true.
Okay, give me...
I'm not trying to deny
I need the story.
anything.
I need the story of what
I'm going to give you the whole story. You ready?
Okay. Because I feel devastated when I first heard the story. I'm like, so this didn't start with me. It was like the 9th round of...
What have I tried to deny?
So one time, we used to have Kirk on the morning show a lot, the old morning show with Key, LZ, Trav.
Yep.
This was an incredibly rough day for all of us. I don't know if we were at an event, but everybody was a little hungover and a little tired to be doing the show. And this was, maybe it was post-NFL draft. So Kirk had a lot of information. And at 7:40 in the morning, he was going to give us all that information in 2-minute blocks. So everybody was like kind of fading while Kirk was talking. And producer Raj, who used to sit behind me, much like Emily sits behind Taylor, Raj was behind Jorge and I. And I said, we got to do something, Raj. I got to play a sound effect or something. And he's like, just do whatever you want. Let's liven it up. And I just jumped on the air between questions. Like Travis asked to follow up, and I go, ask Kirk. And that became the bit for the next year of the show. And then Jorge would sometimes jump on and go, pregunta per Kirk. And that was how it started. And, of course, Kirk wasn't in on the bit, but then he became in on the bit. And that's always when it's fun. And then the listeners became in on the bit. And Ask Kirk then gave way to Ask Slee, which now has...
So Ask Slee is like it's not the original home. It's like a remodeled home.
It's the improved version.
Yeah.
Right? It's we did the kitchen. We added a bedroom. We've landscaped the yard.
There's no permits.
It looks great. It looks great.
No, we're just putting up drywall.
Just add. Yeah, you can't be this close to the neighbor's house. Just fine. It's fine. Just put it there.
Better version.
So that's how that started. So that's at 1 o'clock, our All-Star Friday night draft. And we'll flip a coin.
Yeah, because Berg is going to have to give me we'll figure out the picks.
Is it a snake draft?
Is it snake 1, 2, 2,
I think it's snake.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a snake draft.
It's got to be a snake
Yeah,
draft.
Also, I'll probably need a designated runner because of my ankle. I'm not
that's
explosive
right.
anymore, but...
Can you swing a bat with your
I can
back
I
the
can
way
swing
that
a
is?
back.
Your
yeah, my
back
back
is
should
all
be fine.
screwed up.
Yeah,
got
I think
Tiger
Emily
Woods
might
over
have to
here.
do play-by-play with you.
I come in this morning. She's got a heating pad going on her back.
What about your back?
I was babysitting on Saturday, and I may have I was like straightening up around the house, and I also may have like lifted a child in an odd way. Anyway, my back kind of seized up.
This is why I don't lift children.
Yes, I mean I'm like lifting and like punting children. It's just you're picking them up and putting them in.
Okay,
their babies.
Is this a Greg question? I know Tyler wanted to play. DeAndre wanted to play. There's some others that wanted to play. Can we have a little bit of a depth chart here?
I need to be honest. To the Fun and Games department will be working that day, so there's a lot of work that goes into broadcasting and streaming the game. So they'll be a little busy. Tyler, I don't know. Anyway, I mean, I'm sure you could play. Just fill in for Greg. Nobody will know the difference.
DeAndre, I'm gonna find a way. Yeah, I'm gonna find.
DeAndre has to work. I love you, DeAndre, but we got to work.
Yeah, but he's working. It just only time he's
So
not
wait a minute.
working.
So he's going to shoot for social media while playing on the field.
I think it's.
You were
it's-
going to umpire and do the play-by-play.
I was never going to umpire. Whose idea was that? Clinton?
Well, I think it was for
our
one
idea.
inning. One inning you
Yeah.
were going to ump while
Yeah.
you're doing play-by-play.
Great show.
You
Great
right?
show. Great show, guys. Great show. No, actually, we're building a stage in the outfield this year. So that's where the broadcast booth will be for the whole day. And that's also where I'll be doing the play-by-play with Pepe, hopefully.
So it's kind of like a player cam. That's what we're thinking with DeAndre. He
Okay.
has a player cam on, and then the video is going out to social while it's going on.
So much feedback from everybody ahead of these things. Guys, do you have ideas? Do you have this? And everybody's just like, do. Then we pen everything out, which is not an easy thing.
Sure.
And then the day of the draft, you know who wants to play?
Well, I think
this is the first time hearing of Tyler wanting to play or
Yep.
DeAndre.
I think this is what happened.
I think Slee's just trying to loop him in. You're trying to expand the draft field.
Well, I think we need to have a bigger field because anyone could go down at any moment, and we
so
have
let's
somebody
just get
else
a
come
bigger
in.
Field.
No, not an actual field, like a bigger, more
Group of
players,
people.
more group of people.
Who's going down?
Could be anybody.
We are very lucky no one went down
Could
last
be
year.
anybody.
Well, Cappy did go down. We just had to keep him in the game.
Cappy went down the day before.
I'll give you a deal. If somebody gets injured, we can throw Tyler or DeAndre in there, okay?
He wants to draft Tyler or DeAndre first, I'm getting the sense.
No, not first, but they were in the group. They were in the group.
Once Al gets an idea in his head that he's going to
I'm
do
well
something,
aware.
that's
I'm well
how it's
aware.
going to go.
That's how we have Lakers Talk Daily.
That's how it's going to go. Once he's decided that he wants a thing.
And then that gave us Blue Review.
That's right.
I'm a regular participant in Blue
guys.
Review. Have you seen my performances on Blue Review,
You're
Al?
just sitting in for Quinn Yates.
How many
appearances
appearances have you made so far?
If we did imaging on that, I would enjoy saying, now, sitting in for Quinn Yates, here's Travis Rogers.
I love doing it.
How many times have you done it now?
4 or 5.
Is there a Locked On Dodgers now that you could somehow get
It's a good idea.
put more money in your pocket?
That's a good idea. Call
You've
David
sat
Locke
in-
after the show.
Listen, 4 or 5, you're now getting to the numbers where it's going to have to be called Berg, Yates, and Trav. I mean, 4 or 5 is not you came on once. We're not even at the All-Star game yet.
Look, I like talking about the Dodgers with Bergman. We do it every day.
When you
And
do
we
it
just
with
have a
him,
camera in front of us every once in a while.
when you do it with him, do you kind of try to get it like you only have
It's like boxing
one of
him
his
out.
arms is out?
Yeah, you got to position. You got to kind of slowly start
You
to hook
move
him.
the mic towards you.
It's great. We talked about Freddie Freeman's 2000th hit today. It was terrific. Great version of the Dodger Blue Review.
At
What are we calling
10:07, we promoted Ohtani.
Yeah, it's 11:14.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking we do Ohtani next, unless
Sure.
Chris has an American League scoreboard update.
Wait a minute.
that
Oh,
we
that's
need
right.
to
We were
get
supposed
to.
to do Ohtani.
Ohtani
we will.
was an hour and 8 minutes ago.
We're doing him.
We could stretch it out.
We'll see.
We could wait till
Maybe Ohtani.
Well, we still got to talk Taylor Swift.
yes.
Taylor and Farmers Only.
Oh,
I thought you were talking
is that
about-
still a thing? Farmers only?
Well, he's going to
What do you mean,
find out.
Is it a thing?
I don't know.
We were reading yesterday. He has an account.
Oh, do you? That's fine.
Not yet. No, my dad.
I created an
My
account.
dad
for you.
met his wife on Farmers.
Oh, really?
Did he really?
Listen, I used to be big on the Match.com way back when. I get it. I don't do any of the new stuff, but
I did not think he was going to say that.
you were not waiting. You
I
were not
did not
expecting
think
that.
that
Why,
was
why are
coming.
you off the apps?
I don't have any bandwidth for any of it. I got enough.
It is very
people-
exhausting.
Luckily,
What does that mean? What's so exhausting about it? I don't know
Okay,
if I
because
There's a
understand
lot
that.
to it now.
Let me tell you.
Did you not hear
Let
the
me
story
tell you
about him
something.
walking out of Starbucks?
Well, the
That was
Starbucks
in
thing, that was-
2009.
So Al,
Got a
you'll
spinach
get
feta
a
wrap
bunch
out of
of
it.
these people you'll match with, and you talk. You have incessant small talk for so long, and people don't meet up in person, or it doesn't work out. You go on so many dates that don't work out. It just feels like it's a very. It gets exhausting after you've been on the apps for like a long time, and you're not meeting people, you're not hitting it off. So that's why it's exhausting if you're
Yeah,
single.
Sliwa.
Sorry, single people out there, get it.
Yes, Lee.
Yeah, what's the matter with you?
I don't know. Exhausting
Come on.
sounds like, well, if it's exhausting, then
No, it's like the T Swizzle song when she says we're never getting back together again.
Well, that's also why
my
Chris
favorite-
isn't on it. It's why it's exhausting.
That's my favorite part of that song.
Did
it might be my
Reeves-
favorite part of her entire career when she goes, "This is exhausting," and it is exhausting.
Did Austin Reeves and Taylor Swift meet on the dating site or no?
Maybe Taylor Swift.
Maybe Ohtani.
That's next. Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
11:18 in the morning, a live imaging Tuesday with Travis and Sliwa. And Corporate Greg. Good. I mean, now we got feedback.
We got it all. How do you like that?
I didn't
like
set
it at all.
up.
Real quick, though, producer
Super
Tyler
hot.
comes in here.
Yeah.
Hi, it's
Tyler.
Tyler.
Yep.
Comes in here. It's like, hey, man, so like I told one of our fun and games department. I go, did you tell Tommy or me? He goes, no, I didn't know I needed to. I said, okay.
Now I know.
But is there a follow-up that I needed to say? Because he kept standing here for like 10 more seconds.
And when did it get awkward? Who left?
It got awkward when he walked in the room, frankly. But I was just like, okay.
Come on, Chris. He wants to participate. He wants to be part of the team.
Okay, here's
This
the
person
situation.
told him that he could participate, and now I feel bad because
Yeah.
he was basically given the idea that he was going to get a jersey with his name on it and his number.
That needed to be done a while ago.
Right.
Yep.
So now,
now what are we doing? Because
well,
we
this
have
is an
Tyler,
issue within the fun and games
We have
department.
Tyler and DeAndre. With the situation is with
So no
Tyler
offense to the
and DeAndre.
Chivato DeAndre.
Why is he now? I heard you say that to him in person this morning. Why is
Yeah.
he a Chivato?
Because we had this whole thing. Or sorry, Trav, you're here still.
Hey.
But
It's fine. Trav, take the rest of the day off.
right.
Trav.
So no.
Trav.
Get it?
Trav. Ohtani 12:30. Just
Perfect.
wait on
Look,
that.
he's sitting back. I love it. All right, so DeAndre came in and asked me about
Did
Chris
you know the
Paul.
Brewers make the Mets last night at Citi Field 2-1?
Did they? Wow, really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
good to know. Do you have another one?
Orioles.
Paul Molitor.
Twins
Paul
lost to the
Molitor.
Braves.
Reds,
Paul Molitor.
I want to
homer.
say.
Paul Molitor. No, but no, DeAndre
Vladimir
came into my
Guerrero
office.
had a double.
Your
And
random
ask me-
80s baseball knowledge catches me by surprise.
I was a
every
fan.
Once in a while, I guess.
Meanwhile,
so.
let's go back to Corporate Greg already in progress.
Yeah, so DeAndre came into my office and asked me about Chris Paul. Would you want Chris Paul? I was like, not really. It's not something I'd really want.
Just randomly? Like this
yeah,
is
just random. Just wanted to ask me about Chris Paul. Like it was just a
Talking
random
ball.
conversation. Yeah, we were just talking some basketball.
Okay.
You know, just like me and Slee do all the
Oh,
time.
yeah, it's great. Anyway, go ahead.
And then on the air, Mason and Ireland were talking about how they're Greg, do you want Chris Paul after they had just set up this whole thing about he'll play 15 to 20 minutes a game on a minimum contract? And I was like, sure, 15 minutes a game on a minimum contract. Oh, I'm all in on that. And then DeAndre sprints in the break and goes, I talked to Greg this morning, and he said that he didn't want Chris Paul. And so then now he started going, Chivato, just giving
DeAndre, what goes through your head that you think that that's a good idea to do that to Greg? Corporate Greg is a leader.
Here's the thing.
And then you know what else he did? He also did. Remember for the Mandy stuff, they had the social talk to Sean McVay.
He came in and talked to Mason Ireland and
He
said that?
came in and
Do you realize
talked to
Steve
him.
Mason and John Ireland, if they ran into you at the mall, would not know who you are? And that goes for most of us.
And then he
like
also,
John would just walk by me in a mall randomly on a Saturday, go, "Hey, Chris," and just keep walking.
Sean McVay rated Mason and Ireland's outfits and
Right.
at the Mandy's
Yes.
and producer Jorge's.
Yeah.
And at the end of producer Jorge's, he goes, "Just so you know, Coach, producer Jorge likes the Niners." So that's two things.
Well,
of
but that
just being a
I'm
massive
not
just being
chivato.
honest.
I'm not mad at that one because that gave us content.
It
so that's
did,
good,
but
yeah.
at the same time, it's just back-to-back things that, so he is part of the social
Okay,
media.
so
and they need him on the social
with
media
all
team
that,
for all that.
I get
He's
all
not gonna
that.
be able to
Did
play,
Joseph in the
unfortunately.
Fun and Games department tell you he was making you a jersey too, or no?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
No.
He likes to tell people things like that.
Okay, so the rules, I think you
Yes.
explained them to me.
Okay.
So we got
Super
So the
easy.
draft is coming up in an hour and 40 minutes for our All-Star Friday night on Friday, July 14th. There's 18 people on the board. Team Sliwa, Team Mace are the captains.
Yeah.
Corporate Greg with the
and
rules.
there's a couple other people that are not on the board that we're going to add.
Why are you doing this to us?
No, we're
Put
going
'em
off
in
of
the
the player
comments.
pool. We sent out the player pool, Slee. Why you got to try and change
Is
the
this because I
rules?
made a joke about the old night show?
It's part of it. Yeah, part of it is. That's part of it is that.
But it's going to be very easy. You guys are going to be here. We're going to have a big board here, and maybe
Do
Emily.
we have confirmation on the big board?
We cleaned it off yesterday.
Oh, okay.
William from the interns actually did a whole good job of cleaning all that.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Yeah. You don't. They're too.
Okay,
He's
we're
trying
gonna
to
for
verbally
you.
font. He said William, one of the interns.
Is that the one with the good hair?
Yes,
I
he has
believe
good
so.
hair.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
great
He
hair.
also went to
I
Virginia.
ran my hand right through that
That
hair.
guy
a couple
knows
times.
where,
Went to Virginia. It goes to,
that guy knows where all the good yacht rock parties are. He knows.
That doesn't surprise me. All right, so
So we're going to do paper, rock, scissors to determine
yes,
who has the number
rock,
one
paper,
pick.
scissors to see who gets the number one
Did
pick.
you say paper, rock, scissors?
You did. He
so,
said it all
so
weird.
paper, rock, scissors for the number one pick.
rock,
God.
paper, scissors,
Paper,
shoot.
rock, scissors.
100%. 100%.
My brain is cracked in half. I can't
100%.
even process
This is
that.
the same guy that called it Six Flags and not Magic
I
Mountain.
know.
Well,
that
that's
one's
okay.
easy,
Yeah,
yeah.
No, it's not okay.
That's
No,
called
it's
good
not.
branding.
It's not
like
okay.
Ask Slee, we brand things.
Yeah.
No, it's not
So
okay.
paper, rock, scissors to start things
Rock,
off.
paper, scissors
Okay.
to start things off. Whoever gets the first pick gets the first pick, and then the next person gets the next two picks.
So that's like a weird snake draft.
Yeah, but it's going to go 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So the next person,
So
so the
it's
second
not-
place.
Is that
No, he's right. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
because there's only two?
Right. There's only two people.
Got it.
Yeah. So the second person gets a little bit of that because the first person gets the advantage of getting the first pick, and Kirk Morrison.
So it's like a Norwegian snake draft.
And then the next person gets 2 picks, and then it goes 1, 1, 1, 1,
Okay,
1 the rest
and
of the way.
Cap is already with me, and Sedano's already over there.
Correct. So you can take them off the board.
He's so
And then-
preoccupied with that.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you
love
no,
it so much.
So we take the 2 off. So now that opens up 2 spots.
No, you're not taking
Tyler's
anyone
going to
off.
go there.
He's
DeAndre's going to go
very
Tyler,
preoccupied
on
the
with
other
the
side.
Sedano and Cap being.
Okay.
I know you're close to
predetermined.
Sedano,
Got
but
that.
relax. Oh no,
that
wait a
one
minute.
goes
Sedano's on your
there.
team.
Sedano's on the other team.
No, Cap's on my team. Sedano's
Mason
on.
and Sedano.
Yeah, but Sedano and Sliwa have a
Sliwa.
connection, so I think there could be some sort of antics going on between teams.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
some antics going on.
Yeah, a lot of antics. Okay, I got the rules
Do you
now.
understand it now, Trav? Are you all on board on the
did,
rules?
yeah, I was
And then
fine.
rock, paper, scissors.
Was it straightforward enough for you?
It made sense to me. Yeah.
So you want to play paper, rock, scissors, or no?
You can practice?
Do you really call it paper, rock, scissors?
Yeah.
It was not a mistake?
No. That's
Wow.
Is that something that went down in El Cajon?
in
grade
El Cajon?
school?
I think
Kennedy Rec
Sliwa
Center.
household,
You
we
play
paper,
paper,
rock-
rock,
Are
scissors.
you doing 1, 2, 3, bam?
Yeah, you go 1, 2, 3, bam!
We didn't do that either. We went pop, pop, pop.
That's how we did it.
Oh, really? So you go on 3?
We go on the third one.
Oh, I always went
Yeah, we've done
rock,
that.
paper,
Eight,
scissors.
seven,
it's-
seven,
it's-
seven, 10,
it's
3,
1,
7,
2,
7, 6.
shoot.
Call in. How do you do paper, rock, scissors?
Yes.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I don't know.
No?
I always went rock.
But Mason already has it on his team.
Yeah, is that true?
Mason's already had Sedano. I already have Scott.
They actually worked that out.
What
amongst
about DeAndre
themselves.
and Tyler? Have
They're
you
gonna-
gotten that part figured
gonna
out?
DeAndre is a
go
part
in.
of the social media team. He's going to be too busy
What a
doing
mess.
social media.
a
And
mess.
Tyler, I'm sorry, it was too late.
Damn.
This is an
Cold-blooded.
amazing graphic that Casper Villa did on Twitter of me as like a
Bro, that looks
1950s umpire.
clean.
Oh, that's sweet.
What would your call be? Your strikeout call be?
I think we know.
Yeah.
Bam!
It's a final.
But that's
It's a final. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
got to
yeah.
be. It's
Yeah,
a
but-
final.
But that's at the
Strikeout.
end of the game.
No, no,
Or
no.
at the end of the at bat.
Whatever happened to Kaboom? Did Kaboom get legs or no?
Oh, yeah.
She
we're
hasn't dropped a
trying.
kaboom.
Again,
But
I
she's
was-
been very
It's
strategic.
every other day.
It's been about a week.
Kaboom. Yeah, it's been
about a week.
Every other week, maybe.
Hey, guys.
What are we doing about walks?
They should be outlawed, honestly. But
Okay,
I think for,
can we
for
just
the amount
say-
for time, and also we're not very good pitchers, there are probably going to still be walks.
Really?
You can't
There
walk.
shouldn't be. There shouldn't
Then
be.
that's it.
But look,
You
when you have
don't
guys
walk.
like, look, Cappy could not find the plate at all in that last game last year. So
All right, then we change pitchers.
all right,
Well,
well,
to who?
look, you're
Oh, here we go.
You're the
To
man-
DeAndre.
pitchers.
You're
We
the
just
manager.
go.
You're the manager. I don't know. I've seen DeAndre play pickleball. Like these are two. I'm not sure how athletic he actually is.
He's probably pretty athletic. He just doesn't play pickleball.
No, I know. I've heard about his basketball skills. He's pretty good.
Who?
DeAndre.
Oh.
But
Verbal font.
different sports.
We'll just take a vote. If the listeners want DeAndre,
I think
in the
you just
softball
want
tournament,
you just want to draft him. That's what's happening.
Well, yeah, that was kind of.
Were you
going
gonna
to
go first overall?
What gives you that idea? Just because he brought it up 68 different times in 4 minutes?
Who would you like? It's Kirk Morrison's the first overall pick.
Of course
right?
he is.
Well, he's one of the fiercest linebackers to ever play the game.
Kirk is the number one pick by a mile. So whoever it's whoever picks second actually gets the first pick because
Right.
Kirk's locked in.
Well, I know Mason has his idea of who he wants to go first.
Sue Kowinski.
It's actually David Singer, but you know,
So
All right.
Shohei.
Yeah, well, yeah. No time now. No time now.
Well, we said 12:30.
Well, 12:30 will work. Factor cap is next.
12:30. I think you wanted to still want to do the.
You'll still be working
talk
through the
about
DeAndre
Kershaw.
situation, trying to get him figured out if he's on your team or not. That you're still going to try to find somehow some way to
DeAndre's
draft
gonna be on
DeAndre.
the team.
You want to pick him number one. I can tell.
No, Kirk's number one.
No, Kirk's off the board.
Yeah.
If you don't get Kirk,
Yeah.
your next pick. That's what you got to be thinking.
Giants are up in Toronto today. First pitch 4:07. Giants Blue Jays.
What if I just start making picks and they're not on here? How much will he just hallucinate
I'm
on
not
it?
going to be. You guys are going to do what
We're
you're
so
going to do.
exhausted by all of you after the Mandy's that, frankly, do whatever you want.
Honestly,
All right.
it's supposed to be fun. let's
DeAndre,
Exhausting.
get a jersey for DeAndre because Sliwa's
He's going to have to create his own jersey. All right.
Just take a piece of tape, put it over whoever's jersey's
you one.
there,
We'll
and
order
write
it.
DeAndre on there.
We'll order it.
Perfect.
Just do whatever. Like, just draft former Lakers and see how long it is before anybody catches on.
When
the
you
number
draft
7
AC
pick,
Green.
Anthony Peeler.
I knew it was going to be Peeler. I would have bet
It's a
my
go-to.
car that it was going to be Peeler.
So yesterday
Why not
we did
Sedale
a
3? It really should have been Sedale.
Sedale.
Yesterday was the anniversary, June 26th. I'll do this quickly. of when Kobe was drafted in 1996
Yeah,
and then
we talked about
LeBron in 2003. So on the afternoon show, obviously, I do rejoins. We do specialty music rejoins. So on the day that Kobe was drafted, the number one hit was The Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Mm-hmm.
On the day LeBron was drafted, it was Clay Aiken, This Is Your Night.
Heyo.
Things had changed from 1996 to 2003.
Yeah.
One of those
yeah.
may be better than the other.
Well, it was a different time in
And it's Clay
2003.
Aiken.
So American Idol was number one
Yeah.
on television. And
That was like season 2.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Trav was, still in the jungle.
There's two jungle references today. And
I was
an
doing
hour
the
and a
Bruno
half.
show with Siciliano. Things were different.
Yeah, things were.
Sedano was doing overnights.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Could you match his energy? All right, Factor Cap is coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. Hey, if you get injured in an accident, you got to call Sweet James. If you are hurt in an accident, car accident, truck accident, motorcycle accident, a dog bite, you got to call Sweet James. 1-800-9-MILLION. After my family members have been involved in accidents, that's what I did. I called Sweet James. 1-800-900-0000 because the law firm you choose absolutely matters. So why not choose the best? Sweet James has been awarded Best Attorneys in America, and personal injury, it's all that they do. And what they're going to do is put their own time, energy, expertise, and resources into strengthening your case so you get the maximum compensation available to you. So what does that mean exactly? Well, Sweet James has collected over $1 billion in settlements in his nearly 20-year career. Who would you call anybody else? 1-800-9-MILLION. 1-800-900-0000. Do what I've done. Do what my friends have done. Do what my family has done. If you're hurt in an accident, call Sweet James. 1-800-9-MILLION or sweetjames.com.
Cap!
Oh, that's cap. That's so cap, Dad. Everything I've said is a cap, but I'm going to go fact. First of all, it's not a cap. It's
No, it
just
is a cap.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Hey guys.
I am.
You know what is a fact is that Taylor Swift added another show date to her tour. So in LA. So she is now going to have 6 shows at SoFi Stadium.
What?
She added an extra show on August 7th.
How many can she have in a row before people are like, yeah, there's you're not selling here? 10?
I have no idea.
More than 5.
That's going to be like about 360,000 people seeing Taylor Swift in that period of time.
When I first saw Emily for the first time this morning, I went into her office, I poked my head, and I said, good morning. And you're not going to believe it. They've added a 6th show to the Taylor Swift at SoFi Stadium. Just first thing out of the gate. I don't know if I've ever seen you that excited.
It's
that was in the parking garage when you.
It was 7:45 this morning.
When you put your badge to get in, she just comes out of nowhere.
And I just found out too. I just found out. I mean, I have my tickets already, and I don't know if I'm going to.
You going to go again?
I mean, if I have the opportunity, I might go again. I have some friends that I want to see it with, like different friends I want to see it with.
I got a text at 8:28 in the morning about it.
Hey. Again, people come to me. They know the Taylor Swift
I'm not saying it was a bad
coming.
thing. I love that you have enthusiasm.
At 1 a.m. yesterday.
All right, so I finished watching the 2nd season of The Bear over the weekend, and there is one interaction in which someone is telling a story. It's at Christmas time, and someone at the dinner is like, "You've told this story over and over again," and it kind of turns into this really big argument. So, if someone in your life is telling us the same story they've told over and over again, you know every beat of every story, you let them tell the story.
1 to 4 p.m. Mason in Ireland.
Hey, Mace!
Not the same story. Travis, Fat Cap.
Yeah, if there's somebody at the table, it's fact. If there's somebody at the table that hasn't heard the story, you got to let them tell the story. If everybody at the dinner or the table or whatever has heard it before, you can kind of, yeah, we know. But if there's one person that hasn't heard it, you got to let them tell the story.
All right, Morales?
So Trav does this a lot. I think I've told you this story before, and I'm like, it's fine, let's go. It's just gonna be faster if you get it through. Like I don't, because I probably do the same thing. So whatever, it's fine. What are we gonna do?
Which of my stories have I repeated?
Most of them.
Al?
I don't remember any of them. I would need they'd all be a refresher.
They're all new to you.
They'd all be a refresher.
Especially
Very interesting.
when Trav gets a taste of the Jack, you start seeing that twinkle in his eye.
That's probably true.
True.
I'm fact on this one. Especially, too, if it's like, if my mom is telling a story that I've heard before, I'm like, you go ahead and tell your thing. If it's a buddy, you can joke around with it. Here we go. Same story again. But you want them to tell the story. I think part of it depends on who it is. If it's somebody like mom, sister, something like that, go ahead and tell
I also
the story.
like to throw in that, I think you mentioned that before, and that usually doesn't stop them either.
Well, good. Let me tell it again.
Sometimes it's a little emasculating, or it's like a little calling them out, and you're like, okay, well, then I guess I'm never going to say anything ever again, kind of can and spin into another way.
No, most people don't take it that way, Em, but you do.
I'm just saying. Taylor?
Fact, I'll let them tell it. I don't mind hearing it again because, like Slee kind of said, I'm forgetful. So
you're getting to the punchline before they do. You're like, yeah, I know the end in there.
Bazinga! All right, so so it's National Sunglasses Day, and I think the tell-all all the time is you always lose expensive glasses. You always keep the glasses that are cheap. So my statement is you always lose expensive sunglasses and forever keep cheap sunglasses. Morales, Dr. Cap.
I don't lose sunglasses. I destroy sunglasses. So I'm bad at keeping them in the case. I'll throw my sunglasses into the golf cart. They'll get all scratched up. So I'm worse at the treatment of it than actually losing it.
All right, Al?
Fact. Last pair of sunglasses I lost, I could tell you. Game 3, Laker game across the street against the Denver Nuggets. Forgot them they usually close off the court until a certain amount of time. So I'm like, all right, I got to prep here. So I'm doing my prep and there's nobody else there. It's just security, stuff like that. In one of the concession areas, I'm just literally typing there. And when I grabbed my stuff to go to the seat, forgot my sunglasses there. Went back 5 minutes, gone. I always lose my sunglasses. Had to buy a new pair.
Were they expensive?
Yeah. I think anytime you're spending over $100, that's expensive pair of sunglasses.
High roller over here.
You go get a
high roller sleeve.
Yeah.
Go get a pair of Ray-Bans. Go see what they cost you.
Oh, no, they're expensive.
Yeah.
The sleeve bands.
I'm pretty good about not losing those. I'm more in Chris's camp. I beat them up, scratch them, they sit on them or whatever, but I don't lose them very often.
Taylor?
Cap, I've only bought one pair of expensive Ray-Bans in my life, and I've hung on to them for about 9 years, knock on wood, so...
It's pretty good.
Do you still have those Christian Dior ones? The ones that you were wearing?
Don't recall, Slade.
Just high-end. Can't you just see him rocking Gucci sunglasses?
Valentino.
Dee Dee's has the best sunglasses.
Nice. All right, so there is a sriracha shortage happening. So, oh no.
Can't you
What are
just
we
make
gonna do without
sriracha
sriracha?
with something and something?
So the Tabasco brand sriracha is a very nice substitute. It's really, really close.
So, but that being said, people are now stocking up on sriracha from restaurants and like either pocketing themselves or putting it into bottles themselves to take away from the restaurants. So it's okay to take condiments from restaurants more than what you need for the meal that you have.
Condiments or bottles? Because what happens in a lot of restaurant business
Yes.
and the QSR business
Oh yeah.
is people just take the bottles.
Yes,
off
but I would consider bottles and condiments in one thing. But it's okay. It's okay to take condiments from restaurants more than
meaning
what you're gonna use.
packets.
I'm talking about.
There is a big difference. I'm with you.
Yeah.
There
So
is.
well then
I'm with you with
clarify
that.
in your
Bottles.
answer.
Bottles.
Okay,
Wait a
fine.
minute, if you're taking a
Bottles.
bottle from a restaurant, that's theft.
That's stealing.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
with you.
But it's okay to take condiments, so extra packets more than what
Yeah.
you need. Okay, so that's why I'm going to go around the circle and have you guys all answer. Alan, Patrick.
We liked challenging you first before that.
Well, I wanted clarity.
Cap, it's not okay. Well,
No, condiment packs.
Well, this is the debate, guys. This
So
is the debate.
so you're
Okay,
at
look.
Taco Bell.
Let
Yep.
him answer.
yeah.
Well, I'm trying to walk him through it.
it's fact.
Welcome to my world.
It's fact.
Good night, everyone.
He's just too sensitive sometimes. Nothing you could do. Okay, it's fact
No,
on the
I
actual.
talk, and it's like I'm talking into a black hole sometimes.
Not every time. Sometimes.
Wow.
Sometimes.
Wow.
Your story should be better. All right, so the actual condiments. Okay,
Yes.
that you rip it open, ketchup, it's hot sauce. That doesn't matter. You take 10 of those and you have 9 of them sitting at home. It's okay. Soy sauce you're getting from a Panda Express.
Chick-fil-A
That's okay.
sauce.
All that stuff I think is okay, and I think it's fair game.
Okay.
All right, Trev.
You can take as many packets as you want. You can't take the bottle. You can't take the
No, you can't take
A1
that. Yeah.
or the ketchup.
What
or
about
the
if you
sriracha.
empty the bottle and put it into an extra container? So you have like the glass ketchup bottle, and you're like, oh, I don't have
Look,
any ketchup at home.
If you
and
are
you go,
industrious enough to bring a receptacle to empty the entire bottle, knock yourself out. But no, you can't take bottles. Anything in a foil packet, take as many as you want.
all right, Chris.
So In and Out, I always ask for a thing of spread, right? But In and Out spread needs to be refrigerated.
Right.
So I always ask, I just need one thing. They give me 4, and it's like, I'm just going to throw it out because putting condiment packets in your refrigerator is a line too far. You've gone too far. If I open up your refrigerator and there's
they take
packets,
up awkward space too.
but there's also
Well,
just
there's
like
that
that's
drawer in everybody's house that's got all the soy
Yeah.
sauce
But you can't get
packets,
the
right?
spread. The spread you can't get anywhere else. I mean, it's
yeah. But what are you going to use it on? Are you using it on like zucchini? Like
Put it
is
on a
it-
sandwich. You
it
could put
goes
it
with
on
anything.
some French
I
fries.
feel like that's got to be centrally located to just In
I
and Out.
prefer that just for In and Out.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor.
yeah, I'm with these guys. Packets are fine to take, sugar packets, whatever, but a bottle.
People take that.
Yes. I had friends that have owned,
Restaurants?
not full blown restaurants, but more of a QSR
Okay.
type where putting like a bottle of ketchup, they disappear. They lose a lot of money that way, so they stop doing it.
The napkin dispenser, I understand, but not the bottles. The silverware, I get it.
They're auctioning off bottles of sriracha sauce online for hundreds of dollars. There's a
Y'all,
nationwide
we can
shortage of this
survive
stuff.
without sriracha.
I've never had
People
sriracha, I don't
make
think.
sriracha. People make ketchup. Their whole
good.
personalities. They don't understand about this.
I'm all right
but
without
whatever.
sriracha either.
I like
That's
it.
not-
Yeah, it's not that. It's my. I use it occasionally. But it's not my go-to. All right, so it's
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Sushi with sriracha?
Okay. It is Tobey Maguire's birthday, and he played Spider-Man in
Whose?
the
Wait a minute, whose birthday?
Tobey Maguire
Superman or Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. That's what I was going to get to. He was the Spider-Man in 2002's version of the Spider-Man, and that was the first ever PG-13 movie that I went to. So that was in 2002. But you remember your first R-rated movie that you ever went to. Taylor, Patrick Cap.
R-rated movie. No, I don't. I remember the first movie I ever saw in theaters was Spider-Man 3.
Oh, nice.
I was really late to the game, but yeah.
Trev?
I don't remember what the movie was, but I remember it was a big deal when you would get into an R-rated movie before you were 17, whether your parents would take you or you'd
sneak
sneak
in.
in or whatever it was. It was a really, because in the 80s, right, when I was just about to be able to go to R-rated movies without...
When you were 30.
Thank you, Emily. Yes, when I was in my 30s looking to get into an R-rated movie, you were always, there was always the gratuitous nude scene. There was the F word. These were the things that were in R-rated movies. It wasn't even so much the content as the language and the skin. It's very exciting when you're 14 years old. So, yeah, I remember going, but I don't remember what it was.
Chris?
I think I remember my dad took me to like see Casino, and I was probably 11 or 10, and that did not go over well in the house. So my mother was not a fan of that, and so yeah, I do remember.
So, Mom,
that.
it's really good. We should go see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Al?
So,
I think Trav could attest to this. I do not remember my first rated R movie. I don't remember, actually. I really don't.
I don't either.
I think a lot of times, too, we were seeing movies at home that we probably shouldn't be seeing either.
So when you go to like Blockbuster or whatever to rent your movies, and your mom or dad, like if you got a funny R, like you could get Caddyshack, they'd let you have that. But if you wanted
for like cuss words,
right? But if you wanted something that was a bunch
violence,
of violence,
sexual
and,
nudity, it's like
right.
what are we
no,
doing?
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do Friday the 13th or whatever it is. You can do Caddyshack. That's it, Em. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Good job. Chris, anything you'd like to interject?
oh, I thought that was a fascinating Factor Cap.
What?
Any
Ohtani?
baseball scores?
What do you think?
No, I don't have anything right now.
What are you thinking? You want to
Give
do
a
it?
shot. We'll give it a shot.
All right.
We'll see. What
Yeah, I got a
comes
meeting, so you guys can probably get through it.
out. We'll try our best. We'll see what comes out.
I really want you to take a call from in here. Keep
No.
doing everything you're doing. Put it on Zoom, whatever. Just be in the background pacing left and right.
Ohtani, maybe. Strav and Slee, 710 ESPN. Are you looking for that new Silverado? And why wouldn't you be? I took the Silverado, Slee, to my new favorite town in California, Fresno, over the weekend. What an unbelievable drive. Man, it's so easy, comfortable, roomy. Everything about the Silverado is unbelievable. And if you're looking for one, there's no better place to go look for those new Silverado crew cabs than Rotolo Chevrolet. It's right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit, right there in Fontana. And you're going to find every Silverado that you can think of. You're going to find unbelievable pricing. But what you're going to find at Rotolo Chevrolet that's unlike everywhere else is that customer service. That's why they've been Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row. Think about that for a second. Think about winning MVP for 13 years in a row. That doesn't happen unless you're at Rotolo Chevrolet. That's why they're number one in sales volume year after year after year, because they take care of people and they come back over and over and over again. So if you're in the market, get yourself out to Rotolo Chevrolet. Come see what all the fun is about. Go look at those Silverados and have the best customer service experience of your entire life. And when you get out to Rotolo Chevrolet, tell them that Travis sent you.
Now.
It says taco guy or no? Honestly, like, do you go to the same person?
We have a couple that we use.
Travis and Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
I think we're good on the Ohtani stuff because we talked about it during the break. So I think we could move on from that.
I was going to ask you if you got your DeAndre draft situation squared away.
Not at all.
It's going to be a full-blown circus when it comes time to draft this thing. I can feel it already.
But it'll be great and funny, and you can
I
hear
have
it
about
later.
4 names that are not on the list that I might just draft anyways.
That's why it's going to be terrific.
Yeah.
I can't wait. All right, so we're going to do it. You ready? Little Shohei?
Drum roll?
Yeah,
Ready?
right, exactly.
It's the longest tease ever.
It's lengthy. It was an hour and 48 minutes. So watching the game last night because the Dodgers weren't on. I feel like I need to qualify why I was watching an Angel game.
Yep.
But I was.
Bummer.
Bummer, indeed.
There was
Emily.
nothing on. No. That was it.
That was it.
If last night wasn't the highest rating for the Angels in Southern California.
And it wasn't. I mean, the game was fine. Ohtani hits that bomb home run, right? 446 feet. Just a classic Ohtani homer. Just majestic. Everything about it was terrific. And you start thinking, is there another guy in any sport that even if you're not necessarily a huge fan of the sport, but you're just flipping through and you see that person's team on the TV, that you're more likely to stop and like the gotta stop, must see guy? Is Ohtani not number one, or at least very close to number one on that list right now? Where if he's coming up, if you Angel, Ohtani, I'm going to sit here and watch. Is he not number one?
I got a great example for you. Okay. By the way, it's a great topic. You waited this long to let this out. I was just sitting in your back pocket the whole time. I'm going to Padres Angels on Monday. Okay?
San Diego or Anaheim?
San Diego.
Okay.
Padres Angels. And I'm only
Got
going.
an extra ticket?
I'm only going. What do you want me to tell? Now you got to fight with Lady Slee for the extra ticket.
All right.
The only reason why I'm going is because Ohtani is an Angel.
Mm-hmm.
If Ohtani, you told me 1 year from today, represents the New York Mets, just throwing a team out there, and I will find a way to go to that game because I want to see Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
You and Bergman went to a game. I know the timing just happened to be what it was, but how excited were you guys leading up to that game because you got to see Ohtani on the mound? LeBron is another example for me that you could just tell, and I love listening to Michael when he tells the stories of, we're in Memphis, you should see all the people lining up 2 hours before the game starts because they want to see when is LeBron going to warm up, or Steph Curry, or one of those.
Steph's a good one.
Steph's a perfect one, too, because Steph does he's kind of known for his warm-ups in this. So there's a certain amount of players that you're 100% right. It's the player. Forget the team. Yeah. I'm telling you, forget the team. Because Ohtani, if he was on the Dodgers,
he can be on the Royals.
It doesn't matter what team he's on. I'm stopping it. Tell me what Ohtani's doing. I want to watch Ohtani.
The only guy that I think is LeBron for sure when he was at the peak of his power. If you're flipping, right, you land on TNT, the Cavs are playing, or the Heat, like, I want to see what LeBron does for 5.
Steph's still putting them on 40 nationally televised games.
For sure, but I think just because he's been around so long, it's like I've seen so much LeBron. And even Curry's kind of falling into that category. They're good answers. Emily had one this morning that I think may be the other one where if you're just firing through games.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Are we in the NFL?
Yes.
Mahomes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the other one because he might throw a pass with his left hand. He might shoot a jump shot into the end zone.
They might do like a ring around the rosy before they
some
do a
weird.
play.
I've
might
never
be 13
seen that
seconds
before.
left in the game. And they got the ball, they're down.
With Mahomes, you have to see it. Look, he may just play great football. He may throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns and fine. But he's going to do something you've never seen before. And Ohtani's kind of like that. He's throwing 99 miles an hour, and it comes up the next inning and hits one 450 feet. That even if I'm flipping through, I'm not an Angel fan, but if he's anywhere near coming up, I'm stopping to see what happens with that guy. And I maybe Mahomes is number one and Ohtani's 2, but I think you could have Ohtani at the top, and it's not a crazy answer.
Well, if you told me, hey, you can go to either one of these games, you can go see Mahomes at SoFi Stadium take on the Rams or the Chargers, whatever, or you want to see Shohei Ohtani against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium, I'm going to Shohei. I'm not even hesitating, to be honest with you.
You're right.
I'm going to Shohei.
I think so. And maybe it'll fade a little bit just the more we see him. And look, put it to you this way. If he's on the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets or the Cubs or whatever, one of those teams that matters, right, and not on an Angel team that's not competitive.
Yeah, you're right about that.
He'll be on Saturday afternoon
frequent enough
all
to
the time. He'll be on
right.
Sunday Night Baseball over and over and over again. He'll be on that random TBS game that pops up. That he'll be in front of you so much more often that maybe just maybe not. Maybe a 6'5" home run hitting starting pitcher. The novelty never wears off.
It's a little bit of this too. I think the Aaron Judge for the Yankees. If I see that, all right, this inning just ended, and they show the next 3 players that are coming up, and Judge is in that lineup, or even if he's 4th in the lineup, I'm hanging out because I want to see Aaron Judge at the plate. But it's not. And
it's not just because.
But it's not the level of, because I really do. I do believe when if you said right now you can see any athlete in the country, which athlete do you want to see? I'm not even hesitating with no affiliation with the Angels. Give me some Shohei.
I think it's yeah. And he's going to leave. Probably. They're better. Like I said, watched them last night. Reed Detmers is kind of settling in as a pretty quality major league pitcher. Mm-hmm. They've got a little bit of depth in their lineup. They traded for Mike Moustakas, who gives them a little bit more depth in that lineup. By the way, I know we give Anthony Rendon a ton of crap for never being available because he's never available. When he plays, Slee, they don't lose. Like when he plays, they have something like a 600 winning percentage, which for the Angels, considering they're never over 500, is pretty remarkable. Get him back healthy, add a pitcher at the deadline, make a run for it. Maybe that little narrow sliver of daylight, right? I've always said it's 99% chance that I think he leaves. Maybe that 1% is you get smoking hot at the right time, make a bunch of big moves, go all in, cross your fingers, toes, and everything else you got and hope it hits.
There's 6 spots for the AL.
Mm-hmm.
Astros getting in?
Yeah.
They're getting in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're getting in.
Yeah.
Okay. Toronto getting in?
Maybe.
Okay. Yankees getting in?
Maybe.
Rangers, I think we feel no question about it.
You're going to get 2 out of the West. Yep. You're going to get 2 out of the East. The central winner will go. That leaves basically you have 1 spot for the 3rd place team in the East or the West. That's what you're talking about.
That's why the reason why I said those 3 teams. There's a 1-game difference between 4th best record in the AL and 7th best record. You only got 6 spots. The Angels right now are sitting in that 7th spot on the outside looking in, but they're right in the mix there.
I wonder.
Damn, that would be the worst thing
Angel
possible.
fans have to be okay with.
What if Toronto got in and the Angels did not?
But if you're an Angel fan and your only shot is, look, we got to win. We got to win right now. We got to make a run for the World Series. Let's basically say we're willing to bet our 5 years of our future on the next 3 months. And if it hits, it's worth it. If it's not, it was worth a shot anyway. I would think most of them would sign up.
I'm going to go back to this, and I really, really do believe it. It's not a franchise that's ever given you real hope under Artie Moreno. So to think that, well, we just got to rebuild and go shop Shohei and, you know what, forget the chances this year. We're building for the future. You don't have confidence of who's the head of the snake to that future, which is Artie Moreno.
All right, it's not an Ask Slee day, but I got an Ask Slee I want to hit you with on the other side. Plus, the Lakers reportedly are going to offer or match any offer for Austin Reeves, which brings up an interesting question. That's coming up as well. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. So have you done it yet? Have you gone and nominated your favorite student or your child or your grandchild or your niece or your nephew or whatever it is? Because we've got something very cool going on right now with Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC. We are teaming up to recognize 10 high school juniors and seniors who have excelled in the classroom and in the community. If you would like to nominate someone that you know, could be a member of your family, and by all means, go do it right now. You got a chance to win them $250. You go to espnla.com and nominate your child or student, and the 10 all-star students that get selected will receive $250 in cash and a VIP experience at our 710 ESPN All-Star Friday event coming up on July 14th at the West Covina Sportsplex. You can make your nominations right now at espnla.com, and a big thank you to Rotolo Chevrolet and Capozio Buick GMC for giving back to the community. If you're hurt in a car
Brand's radio station.
All right, so it only took about 2 hours, but that Ohtani conversation, I don't know how you feel back there, Tyler, but that was...
it was worth it, man.
That was real deal.
Yeah.
You get to see one athlete, any athlete right now. Is it Ohtani or is it somebody else? Any athlete.
It's Ohtani. It's not close. Because you're seeing him pitch or hit. You're seeing him one or the other.
Maybe both.
Is it
Maybe
just
both.
Is it just baseball that I'm
Nope,
going to watch?
any sport. Any sport.
I think I would probably go to see Mahomes before I'd see Ohtani. Again, just because I think I like both sports, but I like football a lot. But Mahomes is just so he just changes the way the sport is played.
He's probably the only other answer that I get it. I understand it. Unless maybe somebody's never seen Steph, you can make a case for.
Somebody like Messi.
Yeah, Messi. I was going to say
that.
Messi. I think,
yeah.
Did you see?
Ja.
Did you see average? I don't think Ja is getting that. I'm sorry. I don't think he's getting.
He can
that.
hop,
But
but
you might have to do it before you can't.
Right.
That could be a whole nother issue, right? Get it in before he gets suspended again.
You can end up watching Steven Adams.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
That it's a baseball player. It's not supposed to be a baseball player. It's
but
supposed to
look
be
what
an NBA player.
But look
It's
what
supposed to be
kind of
an NFL
baseball player it took.
A
Right?
one in a billion.
I mean, it took literally the most ridiculous predicament in order for us to all pick, or most of us to pick Ohtani.
I've talked about this with my baseball people a lot, and it's mixed bag, but mostly trends towards no. And the question is, because he's doing what he's doing and having the success that he's having, will he have the Steph effect on Major League Baseball? There's a kid in not a kid. There's probably dozens, if not hundreds of kids in high school that are the best hitter on their team and the best pitcher on the team. Some of them will go play college baseball. Some of them will get drafted, and they'll be the best pitcher and the best hitter on their college team or their minor league team. But most big league organizations are telling this guy, listen, man, we need your arm. We need to put you on the mound. You're going to go over here. Or, hey, we need middle infield help. We need to put you over here. You need to be our shortstop of the future. We're going to do this. Will we get more, or is this guy literally just once in a multi-lifetime sort of athlete who, because here's the thing, and I know I'm a broken record on this. I know it, but I'm such a huge fan of this guy. He's not only a number one starting pitcher, he's not only the best offensive player in the American League. He is that. Mm-hmm. He's one of the fastest guys in the league. He's incredibly everything he does is like high-level athlete. Is he just one in a trillion and we'll never see it again?
Okay, let me ask you this. When Steph started doing what he was doing, did the NBA, the concept around the NBA, it was, okay, hey, this is an exciting brand of basketball. Guys are pulling up. You actually don't have to be 6'9" and 240 pounds, 50 pounds to have real impact in the league. And I'm not saying that's Allen Iverson had impact in the league. There's other players that were not big guys that have had impact in the league, but it opened up a pool that maybe wasn't open before. Whether it's Trae Young or some of these other players, the league accepted it, the coaches accepted it. You started seeing down from AAU, working your way up to high school, working your way up to college. It was accepted from the bottom, and it worked its way up. I guess my question is, do you think baseball as a whole accepts – there's only one Ohtani, but is there a B version of Ohtani out there? Is there a guy out there that, you know what, he bats about 250, okay? His ERA is about 4. He's not the best at both of those, but he's also...
Can I make a comparison? Mm-hmm. You're talking about combining Chris Taylor with Tony Gonsolin, right? Is that what we're talking about?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Do they want players like that in the league? Do managers, does baseball want... This guy is not going to go sell box office, but I'll tell you what this guy is doing. He can get on the mound, and he can find a game where he gives up only 1 run, but he can also, the next time he goes out to the mound, give up 4 or 5.
No, I like this. Like the Gonsolin, Chris Taylor hybrid, right? It's like he's a major league pitcher. He can take the ball every 5th day. Maybe not even a B. Maybe he's a C, right? But he's not an F. It's not just throw him out there and they'll pound his head in. You got a decent chance to win the game. Tony Gonsolin's probably better than a C. Call it a C+, a B-. Chris Taylor is going to hit you 15 home runs a year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to play, in the outfield. He's going to give you some at-bats. He can do some things. He can play around the infield.
Can you do an average and an average? Can you have an average bat and an average pitcher?
Why? It gives you incredible roster flexibility. One of the things that made the Dodgers so incredibly devastating over the last couple of years is they had like 5 guys that could play 4 different positions. All it is basically, with obviously some physical limitations, it's just another position that you play. It's just that we've kind of had to recalibrate our expectations on what that means. Before it was, there's no way you could prepare effectively enough as a pitcher and still prepare effectively enough as an offensive player to play at the highest. Well, obviously you can. Obviously he's doing it. The ability, I just don't know if that guy exists.
But even if that player doesn't exist, I think it's more of opening the door to allow players that opportunity.
Well, here's the thing. You got to be willing to let them struggle too, right? Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, and this seems like ancient history.
Because Ohtani is the worst example. Because Ohtani is literally one of the greatest to ever do it. It would be like, hey, you need more LeBrons. No, you're not going to get more LeBrons.
You're right about that. But when Ohtani first came over, keep in mind, the Angels were one of the few teams that were willing to let him do both, right? Mm-hmm. The National League was, in retrospect, kind of a non-starter because at the time there was no designated hitter. So you're basically dealing with the American League pool, and the American League teams, or the Angels were like, look, if you want to do both, let's see if we can do both. He comes over. He couldn't hit at all when he first got here. I remember Jeff Passan, who's one of the best baseball writers you're going to find, super smart baseball person, ESPN, right? Really good. Wrote an entire thing on .com about, do they just need to bag him as a hitter? Does his bat speed not translate to the major leagues? It was really an ugly start to his spring training. Well, turns out, and this is not a passing thing, he was as wrong as you could be. A lot of people were as wrong as you can be about this. But what about the kid that's in the minor leagues who gets off to a slow start?
Sure.
They're going to say, all right, just put the bat down. Let's just go on the boat. You have to be patient with some struggles along the way.
Wouldn't you agree there's, and baseball's got the stigma of old school?
For sure.
Now it's changing a little bit, but they got the stigma of old school. But how many different, like you're right, somebody a manager in AA, and the guy is struggling with the bat. See, he shouldn't be doing this. Right? And then all of a sudden you give up on whatever that is. I still think we're going to see more of them because that's just what happens in sports. If he opened the door for this to be a possibility. He's not going to be the only player that had a good bat and a good arm as well. He's not. That's impossible, especially because all anybody's talking about in all of sports is Ohtani. You're going to tell me there's not some copycats that are not nearly as good as he is, but good enough to do both?
How much
there has to be.
I wonder how much of his appeal. Just take his performance, because the performance is extraordinary, full stop. How much of it is that he's kind of unknowable right now?
Well, I think that...
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Tyler.
How so?
But that he doesn't speak English well. You don't see a ton of interviews with him. That the quotes that he gives are very limited. There's really not anything like insightful in there other than he wants to win. He only speaks through his interpreter. That he's Japanese, that he's playing in an American league as a Japanese person, that he's not knowable the way that we know Mookie Betts or we know Freddie Freeman, know Mike Trout, Bryce Harper. Like we kind of know these guys. You get to know their Ohtani goes out there, throws 100, hits 45 home runs, steals a bunch of bases, and then just disappears. That he's unknowable, I think, is a big part of this.
Well, this is such a transitionary time for baseball, right? It just aligned so perfectly with Ohtani coming over from Japan and all of these rule changes that we're seeing with the sport. We're seeing the first ever two-way player in the game in addition to...
Baseball's finally adapting.
In addition to all of these changes, and I think that we're also seeing players be a little more quiet. I think players are kind of being advised, most likely by their PR people, just to kind of keep your head down, play the game. And I think that kind of translates into what's happening with Ohtani perfectly in the sense of the game is changing.
But we got more color than ever before, right? You got more. What I mean by that, there's bat flips and guys are stutter stepping, going around their base.
And that's how the players are choosing to speak now. So it's perfect. I think the two-way player is perfect right now.
I will say whether Ohtani, his current, his background, or if he was from Georgia, I don't think it matters. For me, it doesn't matter. When you're doing something as special that he's doing, even if I heard from him all the time, even if, by the way, hearing from him all the time, too, I don't want to say makes it more intriguing, but I'm intrigued by a player that's able to have this much success, and it's so different.
No.
Mahomes talks all the time, and we still like to watch him,
Yeah, but you feel like you know him, right? And there's no I wonder what else is going on in there. Like with Ohtani, it's because there's a language barrier, because there's a cultural barrier. If he were Tony Gonsolin and Chris Taylor, it would be like, oh yeah, he does both. That's kind of cool. And we just kind of.
But at that level,
the performance makes it totally different. Yeah. But I think that there's also that mystery surrounding him that is kind of fun. It's kind of exciting.
By the way, we talked about what other athletes, and they mentioned Messi. So Messi's tickets, they already have.
Gosh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw
Miami FC or whatever they're called.
Miami FC.
Inter Miami.
Inter Miami.
Yep, exactly. You. Inter Miami FC. Milan. So their game
Miami's soccer team. Soccer Miami.
The game against LAFC that he'll be a part of, and they just kind of list the average ticket
price. Is it
price.
here or in Miami?
It's going to be here at LAFC. The average ticket price that Messi has in some of these games in the States. That game, LAFC game, average ticket price is $464.
Yeah.
Okay. He has a game after that, $389. There's a game, Red Bull Arena. Oh, that's the New York game, $379. That's the average ticket price to walk into BMO Stadium.
I don't know anything here, so help me out if you guys know the answer to this. Do those teams come through? Like, will Miami soccer team come through LAFC and Galaxy frequently?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure how often. I can look it up. But so someone,
you see what I'm getting at, though?
Someone traveled to Philadelphia to see his potentially the first game he plays on U.S. soil. And he didn't play because he's still on vacation. He's going to come whenever Messi wants to choose to come to America. So he was supposed to have a scheduled start, I think, this past weekend. Didn't do it. And someone bought $10,000 ticket to come and see Messi play, and Messi didn't play. That's how insane this can be. But I will look up.
They just got a normal
soccer game. You not hear stuff like that?
Gosh.
Doesn't move me at all. If you have the resources to spend $10,000 on a sporting event, and it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter to you.
That story sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. But for instance, you and me, I don't have $10,000 to go to a sporting event.
Can I give you an example? Somebody wants to watch LeBron for the first time.
Yeah.
They come to the States. They spend $275 on their ticket.
Yeah.
And LeBron doesn't play that.
It sucks.
Happened to me.
That sucks.
Happened to me with Kobe.
I'm not saying it doesn't suck. That is far more, than some guy that's got deep pockets that goes, well, I'll spend $10,000 for the. If you got $10,000 for a soccer match, you got plenty more.
Also, LA, we have two chances. We have Galaxy and LAFC to see Messi play eventually, so that's also a good
At that point, you sell your $10,000 tickets for $80 and just recoup.
Why not?
Because that's what the tickets will be valued now.
All right, we're going to do the Austin Reeves match any offer. Love that idea, but I got a question. If they do that, then what? That's next. Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Don't forget, we're also hosting our Wiffle Ball Bash Home Run Derby at our ESPN LA All-Star Friday night. That's coming up on July 14th at the West Covina Sportsplex. All three shows will be broadcasting live, followed by the Wiffle Ball Bash and the Celebrity All-Star Softball Game featuring the entire 710 crew. It's Team Slee against Team Mason. And if you call right now, 877-710-ESPN, caller number 7 will win a playing spot in the Wiffle Ball Bash and the Home Run Derby. The Wiffle Ball Bash champion will also win 4 baseball tickets. For more information, visit ESPNLA.com. Caller number 7 wins right now.
All right. make your summer better.
Let me tell you something about Travis here real quick. This dude has been known to walk up and down. Doesn't matter whether he's near an ocean or not. He takes sunscreen, not to spray, okay? Takes sunscreen, just throws it over to a random person. Doesn't matter, a dude or girl, and just says, get the back.
More of Travis and Sliwa right now.
That's from 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's an older one.
Yeah, so
we just recorded that.
So, for those who don't remember, I'm going to give the context for that one. So it was actually the 4th of July 2 years ago when I first got here, and I had gone to the beach the first time in LA.
Did you get fried?
I got fried because I went to a party where I didn't really know anybody, and I didn't get my back. And so my whole back was just completely burnt up, and I know I could have probably asked somebody or had spray or whatever to ask, and then that's what this came about.
You know, I'm going to give her a little credit for something real quick.
Remembering things, grabbing the sunscreen and just throwing you throw the sunscreen to some random person and say, get the back. I got it now.
You have more courage to show up at a thing where you don't know what's happening than any person I've ever known in my life. Did you hear what she just said?
Yeah.
I went to a party at the beach. I didn't know anybody, but I went anyway.
I knew one person.
You
He
would
was
have
hosting
to
the party.
break my arm to get me to go to this
One
thing.
person. If that one person you didn't know, are you going to that party or not?
I wouldn't even known about the party. So actually, I'll explain the story even more.
I could almost see her just going to the beach and saying, "These people are getting. These people look like they're having a good time. I'm going to go introduce myself."
If you said to me, "Hey, Trav, we're having a big beach party. It's me
Yeah.
and the extended Sliwa family. We'd love it if you come." And I know, I'm like, Al, I really appreciate the event. I don't know anybody there, man. That'd be weird. Like, I don't know that you do that is amazing.
So
to
it's
me.
even weirder than that. So I just moved, so I didn't really know anybody. I had a few friends in the city. I don't really know much people. And it was 4th of July, and I didn't want to do nothing. You know, it was a holiday. It was my first holiday over here in the West Coast. So my neighbors at home in Virginia, so 2 doors down in Virginia, goes and walks to my parents' place and knocks on the door, knock, knock, and it's like, "Hey, I heard your daughter just moved to Los Angeles. Congratulations."
It's not John who hates the tiki bar, is
No,
it?
different John, not the same John. And so he knocks on the door and says, "Hey, my son, Greg, is hosting a party." Not Greg, this Greg, a different Greg. Hosting a party, and I don't know if she has any plans, but maybe she should give him a call and see if she can go. So I literally called. So he's like, my son knows that she's gonna reach out, so don't worry. So I call Greg. I say, "Hey, my name's Emily. I grew up next to you. I don't really know you very well." He's a lot older than me, and so I said, "Hey, would you mind if I join the party or whatever?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course, come on." He was having a big party, he invites people all the time. So then I go, and I met some people, had a good time. I'm not still friends with them, but it was a good experience. And he's an actor. He has been in a bunch of random things. He's been in a lot of Lifetime movies, so maybe John knows him. But yeah, it was a good way to get me out of my comfort zone when I first got here.
Not in a million years.
You're right. Takes some courage to do that.
Taylor just said, "You know what I'm going to do? Go run a farm." She moves across the country. You and I, we just kind of, I'm just going to say,
"Hey, but you talk on the air all the time. It takes a lot of courage."
I really, really like the sound of my own voice. It's very soothing to me. When I need to
When
relax.
the show ends, Taylor always sends him the podcast without me. He just hears himself.
I just ride the volume in my car. Al talks.
What's Sliwa say? Cut it.
Exactly. All right, so Mark Stein had something in his newsletter that said the Lakers are going to match any offer that's thrown out to Austin Reeves. Right? He's staying. They're going to match any offer that comes out there. Even 4 years, $100 million. They're in. They're going to do it. I like it. I think you got to keep him. I think he's a terrific player. Here's a question though: if LeBron, if LeBron and AD are your 1 and your 2, in however you want to do it, 1A, however order you want to have them, is Austin Reeves your third best player? As the team is currently constructed right now, we'll include D'Lo and Rui and these guys. Is he your third best player? And if he is, and I think so that he is that a good enough team to make a run at it, where Austin Reeves is your third best player? He's a really nice player, but now all of a sudden it's very different. It's not found money, right? It's not, hey, it's an undrafted guy. We've turned him into a starter, a good starter, fits well with LeBron. Now it's, hey, we're paying you a real high-dollar NBA salary to be the third best player on a team that's trying to win a title.
Yes, he's the third best player. No, the roster's not good enough with him as your third best player. It's not a knock on Austin Reeves.
Right.
It's now you figure out, like you just said, figuring out the rest of the roster. who was supposed to be that player was D'Angelo Russell. That was conceptually the idea was D'Lo's going to walk in. He's 17 and 6 a game. He can distribute for others, take some pressure off the offense. He can hit his jumper. D'Angelo Russell, I do not have confidence will be the third best player, and I think the Lakers were, whether they were trying to go get Chris Paul or they were trying to see is there a sign and trade that we can do, I think that part's clear. They're probably going to end up with D'Angelo Russell. They're probably going to pay him a lot less than he thought he was going to get before the playoffs started. But, yeah, that part does concern me. Listen, I'm a big fan. It's impossible not to love Austin Reeves and his story. The question you're going to ask yourself is $25 million a year, which is probably what it's going to be because there will be teams out there like the Spurs or the Houston Rockets or the Orlando Magic that have money and are okay to wait 24 hours to figure out if the Lakers match it or not.
And it puts the Lakers in a pickle a little bit, too, where they got to theoretically overpay for somebody.
The Lakers are – it's in their best interest to tell everybody we're matching any offer.
Yes. Because
they're hoping – that a team maybe then just says, well, why are we going to waste our time? They're going to match the offer. Now we got to wait 24 hours before we can use that money somewhere else. It's in their best interest. But I guarantee you 3-4 months ago, they thought they'd probably get him around 60. And then it's like, all right, maybe you're going to get him around 80. And now after his playoff run, and give him all the credit in the world, you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if he's getting 90 or $100 million.
It's going to be around $25 million a season.
80 to $100 million.
It's going to be between $20 and $25 million a season, which is, it's not max money, but it's also not middle money. It's above there. And all of a sudden, you are kind of locked into your top three. Go back to D'Lo for a second. If the best version of D'Angelo, and this is where I think that when you start to look at the Lakers relative, in particular to Denver, the best version of D'Angelo Russell, right? Where he's making threes, he's an offensive threat. He's still, not going to be great on the defensive end, but the best version of D'Angelo Russell, maybe you're still short, right? You're still a little bit light on your top line guys competing against a team like we just saw in Denver.
Or you have so much depth that it made up for it, just as an example.
But just those very top guys, right? When you look at Jokic, it's Porter, it's Jokic, Murray, and then Gordon, Porter, KCP, and some combination. Yeah. They're still not quite there. Even if you can, it's not a push, but even if LeBron and AD are a push against Jokic and Murray, it's not. But once you get past that is where it's like, we're still fighting with one hand behind our back.
I'm going to give you an example. It is what it is. This is just kind of the state of the NBA right now. There also isn't that many players that are available. It's not a deep pool, so you're going to get a lot of guys that are probably going to get overpaid because it's a good time for them to be a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what Alex Caruso signed for with the Chicago Bulls? Lakers had that option to bring Alex Caruso back.
It was something like $9 million a year or something like that?
4 years, $37 million.
Yeah.
Basically 9 on the dot.
Yeah.
Is that not one of the best contracts that's out there right now? He's going to get 4 years. He was one of the best defensive players in the NBA. He's a perfect prototypical role player.
Yep.
4 years, $37 million. You're probably going to sign Reeves for 4 years, $80 to $100 million.
It's 2.5 to 3 times as much.
Yeah.
And
I'm not trying to angle don't go sign Austin Reeves.
No, that's not
it at all. It's
just
showing that look where the market is today for some of these players, and the Lakers are also not in a position where they can afford Austin Reeves to end up going to another team.
And there's no obvious counter move. That's the other part. Like, I know Van Vliet's name is out there, and there's always Dame rumors, there's always Kyrie rumors, there's all these other things, and maybe Kyrie is the guy that makes you go, oh, okay, if he's your third best guy or maybe even your second best guy, then Austin Reeves and down. Now all of a sudden we've got a little bit of a different thing.
Agreed. Yeah.
But he'd have to take a pay cut, and
probably going to take short-term years.
The Lakers, I'm sure, would be very reluctant to go multi-years beyond 1 or 2.
Mavs would have to potentially work with the Lakers on a sign and trade. Why would they do that?
Right.
D'Angelo's going to have to want to play in Dallas. There's a lot of factors that go into it.
They're going to be short. They're arguably the second best team in the West.
Yeah.
And injuries and stuff happens, but it feels like they're significant, even with Reeves back, even with Hachimura back, that D'Lo looks probably more likely than not to come back you're still
Can I ask you a
significantly
question?
short of the best team.
I'm going to ask you a question of, let's say they bring back the same team because they have to. That's just kind of and there's a lot of Laker fans out there that say, hey, I'm glad they're bringing back the same team. Finally, some
I'm one of them.
Continuity.
I'm one of them.
Let's say they bring back the same team. Are they better than the Denver Nuggets?
No.
Okay. I'm going to throw some hypotheticals in here.
Yeah.
Let's say the Phoenix Suns use Ayton and go get more depth.
No.
You got Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Frank Vogel is your coach now.
No.
Okay, I'll move on to another one. I know people want to just write off the Memphis Grizzlies. Let me remind you about something. Steven Adams didn't play. Brandon Clark didn't play. They just got Marcus Smart. Dylan Brooks is off that team. That's a good team. John Morant's going to come back in 25 games, and we'll see how he – we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay. That's another team just to keep in mind. Sacramento's only getting better. I believe they're only getting better. I just don't like that they don't play defense. I haven't mentioned the Clippers. I haven't mentioned the Warriors. The West is still –
We're going to throw another one in there. Who knows how it shakes? But San Antonio with Wembanyama could be in because instead of what do they play him 3 or 4 times depending on how the season breaks down. But what was 3 or 4 wins in your back pocket, maybe now it's 2. Maybe now it's 1 because he could win a game here and there. They're going to be better,
and they have the worst record in the West.
Right.
So if that's the bottom, the Pelicans. I understand the situation with Zion. When Zion was there, they were balling.
Zion on the team when the season starts.
I think he is.
Zion on the team when the season ends.
I think they're going to give him 1 more year. So I think he'll be on this. I think he'll play for the Pelicans all of next year.
That's a guy that I would love to see somebody take a flight. Let's get him out of there, right? It didn't work for whatever reason. It didn't work. That it was a bad fit. It's bad culturally. He didn't like. Doesn't matter, right? Let's go put him in a place where it works, and it works more of. Miami.
Vets are there. Structure is there.
Miami, San Antonio, just those teams. Golden State. Now I'm not just places
I know
that
what you're saying.
function like NBA.
Stability.
Guys are in shape. Guys don't do crazy stuff, or the crazy stuff that does is fairly tame. Like Zion is on a spiral of bad things that can be fixed, but usually not fixed if you just stay in the same spot with the same people. The spiral of out of shape, constantly hurt. His personal life stuff hitting the tabloids the way that it has. It's just dirty, and it's time to move on. And I don't know what you could get for him. Probably a whole hell of a lot. But New Orleans has that thing. How do you trade a guy that you know is that big of a difference maker? How do you do that? How do you sell that to your fans?
Well, here's what's crazy. It's Ja Morant and it's Zion in that same draft. They're the 2 players that you don't even know if they're going to be on that team by the time next season starts.
Speaking of guys on new teams, Justin Verlander here, maybe? That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Hey, if you get hurt in an accident, you got to call Sweet James. It's as easy as all that. 1-800-9-MILLION. 1-800-900-0000. That's what you do if you're hurt in an accident because Sweet James has been awarded best attorneys in America, and personal injury, it's all that they do. And their success comes because of their passion to help their clients. So where does that come from? It comes from Sweet James using to work for the insurance companies, seeing how they do business with their clients and saying, nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure that we do a lot better. Do not take on the insurance companies by yourself. You're going to need someone to advocate for you, and that's why you call Sweet James Accident Attorneys. 1-800-9-MILLION. It's the call I've made after both of my kids have been involved in accidents. It's the call my friends have made after they've been involved in accidents. It's the call you need to make. Dog bite, truck accident, motorcycle, and, of course, car accident. If you've been hurt in an accident, call Sweet James. 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-900-0000 and sweetjames.com.
Tuesday with Travis and Sliwa, 12:30 in the Southland, that lunch hour. By the way, I want to take a moment to announce some big news. Starting on July 17th, I believe. Yeah, Monday, July 17th. Maybe it's the 10th. No, I think it's the 17th. Our friends over at Waba Grill will be official sponsors of the Travis and Sliwa lunch hour.
Awesome.
Woohoo! Let's go.
And then every Friday for the next 12 weeks after that, we will give away a gift card for an office. You can win lunch for your office.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
From our friends at Waba Grill. They got a new Boom Boom Taco coming out. Boom, boom, bam!
Kaboom!
Can we take the credit for the food that goes to the offices? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's courtesy of Travis and Sliwa. You have to deliver it after your show.
Bro.
So
as long as I get my portion.
You get off the air.
Yep.
And then you deliver it over. And they want to see Rookie the dog.
Yep. I'll deliver anything within 5 miles of Pasadena. You can
take the
have
rest.
everything else. Take Thousand Oaks.
Take the Valley, the Thousand Oaks.
We have some listeners in
909,
Denver.
South OC.
So thank you to our friends at Waba Grill
Awesome.
making that happen. The Travis and Sliwa lunch hour, thanks to Waba Grill, starting in mid-July. We're excited about that. Meanwhile, you know what we're excited for? In about 27 minutes, our All-Star Friday night
Big draft.
official team draft during Supercross Talk. Who's doing the show with Mace today?
Momo.
Oh, that's perfect because Momo's a top pick.
Can we do this? Is it possible?
Apparently, I have to speak and write on the board at the same time as what the Funny Games department told me.
Okay. Well, if DeAndre's not playing, might as well let him do it. Okay, can we do it the where? Did you see when Palenka?
But it's not a snake draft.
Did you see?
It's
when
not an official snake draft.
It's
like
one-round
it's a
snake
Norwegian
draft.
snake draft.
It's a fjord draft.
It's a snake draft.
Did you see when Palenka made the pick and they got the camera in the war room, the draft room, right? They have,
Yeah.
and they call Jalen Hood Shafino, and he answers, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm excited, all that." Can I call?
I'm shocked you didn't try to call first.
Can I call like Matt Burke?
Yes,
Right?
actually, yes.
And say, Matt,
Put him on speaker.
Just want to let you know, I selected you with the number 7 pick in the draft.
You excited about coming to LA?
Excited. Hey,
Matt?
listen, Burke. We got a big game coming up here, so we're excited about it. Why don't you get down to the facility when you get an opportunity?
You like
Can
the
we do that
sunshine?
with all the picks, or that would take us to like 2:30, and we probably can't do that?
I'm fine with it. What else? What do you think Mason and Momo got for the show? What are they going to do? Mace is back from vacation, or a few days
Well, I'll
off.
tell you what they don't have. As good of a segment as we did on Ohtani.
Momo will have a lot of stuff. Mace will seem like he knows what she's saying, and then we'll just keep going and
No,
react
Mace
on
is
the
going to
team.
have good vacation stories.
Is she going to change her outfit just like Clinton did yesterday when he did TV
Yeah,
and came over?
Did you
about
catch
this?
that?
I didn't, but I'm not surprised.
So it
Well,
was,
no, also, when you tell the story, give the details exactly why he has to change.
so both
Yeah, it's not like you're in a suit on Around the Horn. Like
both Clinton and Momo were on TV before coming over here to do the show yesterday.
Right.
Goes on
NBA
right now.
Today or ATH?
Momo came over in her TV outfit, makeup, the whole thing.
right.
Clinton looked like he'd just gotten out of bed. Right, he's got the shorts and the T-shirt, and he's ready to go.
He's dressed for radio.
He was dressed for radio, and Ramona was telling him like, dude, why are you changing your clothes for a 30-second walk?
And his
from
makeup was off,
over
too.
here to there, and he said because somebody might recognize him.
No,
from
he didn't
his-
say that.
Al?
He did not say that.
Al?
He did not
Al?
say that.
Why
it's
do
a
you
bit.
think-
He's
why-
got to be doing
Chris,
a bit.
Al?
Chris, why do you think I said, please make sure you give the details of
No,
why
no.
he did it?
Emily, producer Emily, there's no
If
way
he
that
walks
he was
out-
doing a bit, right?
Emily.
He's not doing a bit. Because, okay, so let me explain, too. One time he came and hung out with me at a bar with my friends doing trivia. And we were trying to talk about, that we work at ESPN. And he said, don't say ESPN, say the 4 letters. Don't want people hearing. I'm like, what?
This cannot be real.
What?
He changed that. First of all, is a whole other. As we could do a whole
I'd just say
podcast
Nesson.
on that.
Works for any said. That's it.
Hey, dude, 4-letter. Nesson? Spectrum Southwest? but there's no way.
Oh, brother.
Ramona did not change.
No.
Ramona came and her makeup
Looked beautiful.
looked great, awesome for YouTube, the whole thing. Clinton changed.
But he did make sure that he talked about how he made sure that what he changed into would look good on YouTube. He did mention that as well.
He can't be this guy.
He is that guy. I love it.
It didn't
He
look like.
he has an appearance he likes to keep up.
Yes.
So.
Yeah,
Which is what?
It didn't sound like.
It's
Which
a-
is what? Like
I-
a bit. It sounded 100.
It's a visual font.
1000%
He was more
genuine.
put off that Ramona was just going to schlep over here in her TV outfit and face than not change. Like, what if somebody saw her?
Did he want to be changed? Did he change to be comfortable, or did he really change because he thought on the 2-minute walk across LA Live?
That's what he said.
If he would have said,
He's got to be playing into the bit now.
it didn't
if he
feel
would
like-
have
I think he's
said-
trying to reverse bit me.
Actually, I think Taylor, you might have the best view in all of this. Do you think he did that as a bit, or do you think there's
This
the
is
purpose
Yates.
he
This is-
changed
this is
for?
who Yates is. I'm 100% certain.
He did not say it was to be comfortable.
Do you know what would be an amazing thing? I would actually set this up.
Okay.
Like if we're all out for a dinner or something, and a fan comes over and recognizes all of us, but doesn't say a word to him. It's like, oh,
Morales, good to see you.
Right.
Mason, love your show.
Right.
Slee, host of the year.
Right.
Producer Emily. Nice to meet you.
and what is it you
work
do?
here?
What is it you do at the station? Oh, he's in the mailroom.
Why not?
We love you, Clinton.
We do love you, but if this is true, this is a whole new layer to the bit.
I think it was true.
The good thing about Yates is he gives us new material.
I never
Every
once considered that it was a bit yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't
It
either.
never crossed
Just
my mind.
the his facial expression, the whole thing. Yeah,
Well, we
there was
know,
no-
of course, he once told Greg when they went to Topgolf. Was it Topgolf?
think so.
Or it was something. Maybe it was Pickle. I don't remember. No, it was Topgolf, where he wore a hat specifically. And, like, hitting golf balls and wearing a hat, that kind of goes together.
Mm-hmm.
But made a point of saying that he wore a hat so people wouldn't recognize him at Topgolf in El Segundo. Where
Is that why you didn't wear your hat today, Slee? That you wanted people to recognize you on your walk from the car?
I actually wear.
You got the logoed gear?
I actually wear a name tag now outside. Just I want people to know who the hell I am.
Kind of a big deal.
They're like, yeah, we have no idea who you are. Just keep walking.
Ramona will have
Keep
her
it moving.
TV outfit on again today.
And by the way, a lot of us get recognized, and I think it's a great thing, and it speaks to the power of the radio station.
Definitely.
That people are watching on YouTube, and that's wonderful. And I love that Clinton Yates is also on ESPN. Obviously, we're part of the ESPN family. But it's not Joe Buck walking by. I mean, it's not Keyshawn. How about that?
No.
Oh, no, that's
It's not Sedano, who's on NBA ESPN games.
It's not Slee.
It's not Slee, who's on Spectrum for the
right.
Lakers stuff.
And
once
Jim
every
Hill.
4 months.
It's not Andy and Brian that dress up as police officers on. Do they still do that bit? No, they stopped that bit. I think where they'd wear the police
I
hat.
haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
You excited about the whole
What?
Orioles Reds?
Oh yeah. Is
Four?
that have they 405 first
Yeah,
pitch?
405.
Camden Yards. Camden Yards, beautiful ballpark. I've been there.
It is a good spot.
Yeah.
Your favorite ballpark, Slee, that's not Petco.
Well, we
Also,
couldn't see that topic.
The
rolling through.
Padres play at 405 too. They play at Pittsburgh.
We don't watch them anymore.
Pittsburgh's a great one. They got the bridge.
we're
I
done.
want to
That's
go
fun.
there just so I can eat a Primanti Brothers sandwich.
Okay.
You know what a Primanti Brothers sandwich is?
It's
Slee?
also overrated. Family from
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
man. Oh,
Family from
gee.
Pittsburgh.
Emily,
I can
Emily.
understand.
This is. I'm literally
Completely
planning a
overrated.
trip
Give-
to Pittsburgh just to eat the
Give
sandwich.
all the details.
Completely
Give the
overrated.
details of the sandwich.
The whole point is they put the French fries on the sandwich.
And they're dry and they're crusty.
You eat
Personally-
pizza that you leave the night before on the floor, and you're going
Right.
to come after my dream. My dream is to fly to
I'm
Pittsburgh,
just-
have a sandwich, and fly
Fries
home.
I
on
am
a
just
sandwich belong.
Putting your dreams as realistic.
But why do you have to do this to me?
I'm just trying to let you know that I don't want you to be disappointed.
That belongs.
Has anybody else had Primanti Brothers?
I've never had it.
But Emily, you've
Okay.
had it personally,
I've had
More
it
than
personally
once?
multiple times.
and it always was a failure to you.
always disappoints. But my family from Pittsburgh loves it. They
So-
whatever. It's personally, it's an
Does
Emily
fries
thing.
in a burrito work?
No.
So,
of course it
okay,
does.
for those
well,
who
hash
don't,
browns in a breakfast
I do
burrito
without it.
work.
for those who
Obviously.
don't know, this is what is in a Primanti Brothers
California
sandwich.
burrito.
So it's 2 slices of Italian bread, grilled meat of choice,
Meat of
melted
choice.
provolone, vinegar-based coleslaw, tomatoes, and French fries. And
That
they're
sounds
like
amazing.
It is.
they're like
I
you know
think-
hand cut
Is that
French
on my guy's
fries.
show?
Yeah. Anyway,
Guy
it just
Fieri?
I think dries out the sandwich.
Here's the problem.
I think it's a diner's. It had.
Primanti Brothers is super famous.
Oh,
and they
it's
have
very
yeah.
go to famous
and they have
places.
pizza now. Is the pizza any good?
That's fine.
So here's the thing. Here's
I don't
the
go to
problem.
Pittsburgh for the food.
I only would go to Pittsburgh for the food. But here's
It's a
the
beautiful
thing.
city.
I remember I was in D.C. This is the mid-2000s. Everyone's like, you got to try Five Guys. It's amazing. You have Five Guys in D.C., and it was like 4th of July weekend, so I was at like a street fair. It was great.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, Five Guys is the greatest thing ever. It's not. Oh, you got to
Agreed.
try Shake Shack. Shake Shack's amazing. You eat Shake Shack in the middle of Central Park on a summer day. You're like,
expensive.
this is incredible.
It's okay.
It's not that. It's fine.
Okay.
None of them better than In-N-Out. No.
So I've built up this in my mind. The Primanti Brothers is going to be incredible.
Have you had the cheesesteak from either Gino's or Pat's in Philly?
I do want to do that.
Yeah. Did it live up to the hype?
Yeah, because I was with Tony Bruno.
Okay.
And his picture was on the wall.
Yeah.
And people
Is
were
he
like,
a Gino or a
Bruno,
Pat's
Bruno.
guy?
We went to both, but I think his picture was at
But
Gino's.
also the idea that, like, okay, those are the touristy places. There are better cheesesteaks in Philly.
Well, everywhere you get a cheesesteak is amazing in Philly because compared to what you would get in L.A.
Right,
It's the roll.
Yeah.
The roll is key.
Yeah. The water, right? So weren't you telling me Portland had the good water?
Well, it's the New York has the water.
The
New
water
York
for
has
the pizza crust.
The bagels and the pizza is better because the water, because you boil the pizzas.
Nah,
you
not
boil
better
the...
than Portland.
Okay. But
Portland's
again,
water?
I don't know. Just go
You
along
gotta
with
go.
it.
If you ever get to Portland, you gotta try the water.
Get their bottle of water.
You go to this place. It's called Denny's. You order the water on the side. It's gonna
No
But you
ice.
gotta-
knock your socks.
No
off.
you gotta
ice.
be a true Yinzer and get.
Is
the
anybody
Primanti
on
Brothers.
anybody in the social communities of our station? They've been to Primanti Brothers. They got to tell
I'm
me something
sure
better
that-
than them.
I'm sure
'Cause you have-
Cappy's
you
gonna
have
talk
burst-
about it.
You
You
have
said-
burst my bubble, Em.
You
I'm
said
just-
best stadium,
Yeah.
baseball park.
Emily's one of my favorite people, and now this is what she's giving me today.
But she's right. Those places that are super fit, like that's why I asked about Gino's and Pat's. Those places that are iconic for their thing, it's underwhelming more often than not.
It's kind of the equivalent of a restaurant with a view of the ocean. They know that they don't have to have the best food because they have a view of the ocean, right?
Huh?
You know what I'm saying?
What?
Restaurants.
Chris is thrown for a loop because Emily didn't like the Primanti Brothers sandwich.
That one sounds good. But I'm sure the cheesesteaks, that there's better cheesesteaks because those are the two most iconic of the places.
Pittsburgh has a lot of reasons to go to Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful place, great place to catch a game, and would recommend. And also to try it for yourself. Maybe you'll like it.
And just to follow up on the ocean thing, no idea what I was talking about.
What
I
does
thought
that mean?
It sounded good.
I know what you're going for.
And then you said
Well,
they don't
here's the
have
thing-
to
but
have the
here's why
best
that-
food
no.
because they have
How
the view
can
of the
they
ocean.
afford-
Coming
This
for
is
the view.
Los Angeles.
Coming for the view.
Not the food.
Yeah.
If the food
I knew
isn't
what you meant.
good, they're not going to be able to sell food. And guess what? They're not going to be able to survive the rent at the ocean. You have to have a good
No,
presentation.
they could sell, man.
There's a few places the food's okay. It's not terrible. There's a place in Laguna that kind of falls into this category.
Oh, but
Great-
I don't
great
want. I
view.
can't get into this. We don't have time. But
We got plenty
I-
of time. We only have Ohtani.
Well, you
got
gotta
to
get your big- you gotta get your big board ready.
Wait a minute. You still haven't gotten to Ohtani?
Well, we did it.
Oh, okay.
We did it.
Was it
good.
great?
It was good.
Was it underwhelming like a Primanti Brothers sandwich? Apparently.
It was
It's
good.
just a little.
It was like an
dry.
In-N-Out. It was like a double-double.
Yeah,
it
it delivered.
It hit the. It hit
We
the
didn't get
spot
anything
just
else.
perfect.
We didn't get fries. We didn't get shake. It was just.
I still haven't gotten.
burger.
I tried last week and I screwed up the order, so I'm still on my mission to get the Flying Dutchman in and out with the whole grilled onion on top. I had them put grilled onions in.
It's a lot of onions. I like onions, but that's a lot. Like top and bottom, that's a lot of onion.
Top and bottom
okay
on them
with
in the
it.
middle.
It's a Morales onion
No,
sandwich.
and apparently you get the chili peppers on there too. I'm not the big chili pepper
I
guy,
love
but I'll do
those.
it.
Those
so
are must-hit.
like an ocean restaurant. Okay.
On the ocean.
I don't have anything else. That's it.
You're good.
Yeah.
The dump.
I tell you, Summertime Slee is amazing. He's just mailing it in, man.
Yosama Station.
Summertime Slee.
The Dub's coming up next, plus our softball draft. Sliwa may or may not have the first pick, and he wants DeAndre very badly. It's coming up next.
We're getting DeAndre. All right, we are experiencing a roadway safety crisis and need your help. Join the Go Safely movement and share your thoughts on what actions are needed to make our roads safer. Go Safely California is really, really asking for the public to participate in this. We want ideas. We want thoughts on how to make the road safer. This is how you do it. Visit GoSafelyCA.org. That's GoSafelyCA.org and take a brief survey. Go Safely California from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
We all hear the radio ads about the
for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
So no official announcement yet, Al, but the Jets look like the most likely choice for Hard Knocks for the upcoming season. Nobody has volunteered to do it, so the NFL has to select. The Jets meet the criteria for selection. It's kind of the last gasp of this thing, right? The Hard Knocks, when it came out, was awesome. Always well done, incredibly well produced and entertaining. It's gotten a little stale.
Okay, so what happened?
It's kind of
Is
the
it
same
just 'cause
thing.
I was
It's
gonna
just the
say,
same thing.
yeah,
They've been doing
there's
it,
nothing new.
Emily, 20-plus years
Yeah.
for Hard Knocks. It's just the same thing.
Yeah, it started in 2000.
Having Aaron Rodgers in the mix, having him in the building with that would give it a little shot in the arm. If they do it with that, I'm all in all over again.
I don't think it's been this like I liked the Raiders one when it was Antonio Brown and John Gruden and all that stuff. I thought that was
because you had a wild
season.
card, right?
Exactly.
You had Antonio Brown, who's a
froze his
lunatic,
feet, yeah.
and he was doing all sorts of crazy
Wouldn't wear a helmet.
stuff. Wouldn't wear his helmet.
What can they do if they try to revitalize this thing? Is there anything they can do? Is there a different version? Can you do multiple teams and you're just doing like
they did? Who
they did it
did
with the
do
Rams.
multiple
They did
teams.
both
Rams
Los
and
Angeles
Chargers.
teams.
Yeah.
I think I think the only thing they can do to get people to care about it again is to take a couple of years off and then come back.
You need to find a compelling personality too, because think of the best versions of that. It's when T.O. was involved in Dallas.
Sure. John Gruden.
It's when Antonio Brown. It's when John Gruden. It's you
DeAndre
need
Hopkins.
big,
super exciting.
Rex Ryan's the
Yeah, Rex
Jets
Ryan
was
was a
awesome
personality.
because
Yeah.
Rex Ryan's crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
person.
Honestly, the Browns owners was kind of interesting too. It had Baker Mayfield for the first time.
The
It
headband.
sucked. Yeah.
And it was
Yeah, I'm
great
just
too
trying to-
because you got to see them cut people. Honestly,
Yeah.
that was fascinating when they bring those guys in. Hey, coach wants to see you, and the guy walks in. You know that
It's
looks
still,
like he just got his
still
dog
a
shot.
GIF that everybody uses. The guy trying to come in, trying to come into the training room and it's locked.
Every season.
You're right.
Every
I still think the
single
best
season.
year ever was the Jaguars year, like way back in 2004 or 3 or something with Jack Del Rio, because he was crying after cutting guys. He was emotional.
Jerry Jones liked it.
Oh, of course.
Jerry,
Yeah.
You guys got
Come on
this?
down.
You got
Let
this?
me
Hey,
get
come on
Jerry
here.
real
Have a
quick.
seat. I got some bad news, partner.
Play some music in the background.
I got some bad news there, partner. We're going to go in a different direction. Good luck to you. Hope somebody else picks you up. Giant
know.
smile on his
Some
face
Johnny
the whole
Walker
time.
Blue.
Jeez.
Like, this is great. Bring him in
Jerry
again.
Loved it.
Let me talk to his wife. I
Everyone-
want to tell her.
Is his mom okay? I
Yeah,
want to talk to her too.
You want me to call your dad and tell him that you got cut? I'll do it. Yeah. Crazy. All right, Emily, walk us through this Barbie movie thing here.
All right, so in honor of the Barbie movie, they actually created a full-on Barbie Malibu dream house. All right, so you have the chance to be able to enter. So on July 17th at 10 a.m., everyone in Barbie Land, that's all of us, we're all in Barbie Land, okay? So you can book, you have a chance.
Did you know that, Al?
I was aware. She told me.
Now I'm impressed.
She said, we're in Barbie land. I'm like, yes, we are. Yes.
You have a chance to enter to book a room in the house, and they're going to give it away to a couple lucky fans and stuff. But it's like full on what you think, like when you think, you can close your eyes, what Barbie's dream house looked like as the toy. They created that in the house and actually in Malibu. So it'd be really cool. It's like a very interesting way of like viral marketing to get people involved in the whole thing.
I don't want to live in a dream house. I want to live in
not for
my
you, Trav.
dream house. But this idea of like cohabitating with people just on a stunt, it's not for me.
There's a grill.
Well, all right, keep talking.
And there's, workout
like,
stuff
that's
for
it,
Ken.
Is the refrigerator fully stocked? Is there a wine fridge out
That's
back?
all it took.
Right? That doesn't take a lot. It
But
does
yeah,
not
I
take
think
a lot.
some of these like stunts and things for like these movies don't really work out. But I think Barbie is really going hard into the whole aesthetic of the pink and everything.
All right, Emily, stay here for this one. This Minnesota sportscaster had 45 Taylor Swift references in his sportscast.
Yes, I'm gonna do something real quick. So we're gonna play it for you, and yeah, you can have all the references.
It's me. Hi. Want to commemorate Taylor Swift's weekend takeover of Minneapolis? Well, if so, you belong with me. If not, you're on your own, kid. Ready for it? Twins fans knew all too well a cruel summer might develop if they didn't find some daylight this week, but they got out of the woods with 3 straight wins. Hoping the gold rush continues, seeking a 4th straight win
All
in
right, so
Detroit.
that's enough. That is already 10 references. Those are all
That's awesome.
song
I caught
titles
8 of them.
from the Minneapolis reporter. And it's like a 4-minute long clip, so we're not going to play the entirety of it. But I love it. I eat this stuff up. It's really fun. And I like that people are like buying into it. It's a huge thing whenever she comes to
I'm
the
an
city.
Eric Church
Play
fan
the whole
because
4 minutes.
Eric Church did a song called Springsteen. Where
I
every
love that song.
Springsteen, all he did in the song was use Springsteen lyrics to create a new song, like a mashup.
Yep.
Matchup.
Yes, but no, I
No.
I like
How
it.
many did you notice?
No what?
Was was all of it mixed together?
It's a mix mash mashup.
Yeah.
How many did you
say
notice?
so.
Gosh, you're gutless.
I know. I am.
By the way, we got cut off.
What do you mean we're not on the list?
No,
No, we only
your
gave,
faces.
We only gave the funny games department a week, and they're like, "Oh crap, let's just photocopy. Can we zoom it up?" Yep.
I don't even get one. I want to know where I'm going to get picked.
Well, you're one of the draftees. The draftees can't know what's on the board.
The board is the board, right? We all know who's
I don't
on
know.
the board.
I don't know. That's coming up in about 6 minutes. The All-Star Friday Night Draft. So our friends at Rotola Chevrolet and Composio.
Is Clinton going to be bothered if he doesn't get picked in the appropriate spot?
What's the appropriate? Okay, you help me out with this. Let's use Yates as an example. What round do you think is a proper round for Yates?
Second.
Yeah.
Second round.
Second.
How many rounds are there?
Well, there's 18 people, so that would mean 9 rounds.
You think he's a second round pick?
Yeah. Because he can field it. Look, here's the bar is not super high to clear. You need somebody that can field a ground ball or catch a fly ball.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of people on this list.
We got a few.
Yeah, a few. Out of 18, a few means 3.
Yeah.
We got a few.
I got a whole strategy on this.
I'm curious how you're going to do it, but we will definitely see. All right, a man threw pizza at New York City Hall because of new laws being passed regarding pizza ovens in New York City. Apparently, they have too many emissions, so they're getting rid of the old pizza ovens, and now he's throwing stuff at City Hall.
He was like, New York's nothing without the pizza, and he threw it at the City Hall, and he was like...
If we just get rid of the pizza ovens, that'll fix everything. Don't worry. Let's not talk about all the other countries in the world that just pump toxic chemicals in. But you know what?
Your pizza oven
By the way,
is
you're
the problem.
going to New York and you're going after their pizza. That's like the last thing you should be doing.
Yeah, they're walking in
They're
to get a
walking in.
They go
slice.
after cars in California. So what do you... Yes. These are the things that somehow people fill their day with.
Okay, but if we had to do like the California LA version of this, what would you throw at City Hall?
Bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Okay.
Right.
Tacos.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Tacos another good one.
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out would be a good one. You don't want to waste
throw-
good
yeah.
In-N-Out.
Hate to throw that burger.
Yeah, it's bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Yeah, I would think so.
You got the army of carts outside of SoFi and Crypto and everywhere else. They're
Totally.
Are they dirty emission
By the way,
hot dog standards?
do you know that all of the hot dog vendors are part of one
It must be,
company?
right?
Yeah, it's like one company that puts all of
Really?
the hot. Yeah,
Is it a company or an organization?
It's a syndicate.
Yes, it
It's
must
the
be.
bacon wrapped hot dog syndicate. And
So-
when you buy one from everyone's
getting a taste.
Yeah.
So if you and I decided to invest in our own cart and go out there.
Yeah, that's what I want to do with my life.
You and I
invest.
Well,
The
here's
Slee and Mason
the Mason
hot dog.
Mason, here's the
Empire.
thing. Listen. You can get it during the pregame and during the game.
Yes.
I'll come out in between some of the updates to
Okay.
run some of the stuff because it's just right outside Crypto. So they would kick us out because we're not part of their company.
Correct.
That's one
We're
company.
not part of the syndicate. We would be out.
It's a monopoly.
And by the way, not out
Is there
in
any
like
antitrust laws
No, like-
or
yeah, it's not out.
Antitrust, yeah.
It's not out and like go home. It's out and like
out.
They
Out.
take
Out.
you out. No, they take you out.
They don't
the
take
hot
well
dog
to
syndicate.
competition, shall we say?
Yeah.
No.
The interloper.
Plus,
is not
if you were to somehow get jumped in, you're gonna have to pay vig.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do all kinds of stuff.
You need
right.
protection,
What if
do
we're
you?
selling, what if we're selling vegan dogs? They're pure garden dogs. There's no competition
Well,
to the
there's
other.
they're correct. There's no competition because nobody friggin' wants them.
They're not quite the same.
They're not at all. No,
Vegan dog
plant-based
wrapped in
BS.
vegan plant-based
Oh,
bacon.
awful.
Your
Not
sunglasses
gonna happen.
on, you look like
It's
a
National Sunglasses Day.
Well, you
It
look
is.
like a general manager that's about to be a part of a draft.
Oh,
That's
I'm
what you look
ready.
like.
I am ready.
Speaking of, let's do a little Supercross talk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins. Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Slee, do you see what you've started?
Yeah, this is kind of Slee's fault.
This is all your fault.
We both had the same idea. I did not hear Slee with this idea, so this is now my idea also.
You have a list.
Yes, I do have a list.
Address your list real quick. Address your issue. We got 1 minute before the draft.
Okay, so we've got some guys that can
in the
play.
fun and games department.
Yeah. DeAndre,
you
Hawkins,
realize we
Parker
stream
Bell.
this live.
Yep. Excellent.
That requires many cameras going on for social media.
Isn't that something you can do?
No.
What about the new intern Graham?
So we're going to have interns handle the most followed sports radio station in America on social media. Let's have the interns do it.
Absolutely. All the interns will do it. They're all busy. All the interns are going to be busy. All of social media is going to be busy. It's a very big day for us.
D-Hawk and D-Bell.
They're on our list.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what?
Listen, the guys
still
just
gonna select.
The guys just started a podcast.
Yes.
In about 3 years, they'll replace the 1 to 4 time slot, and then they can play in the All-Star game.
Yeah. All right. So they're on their way.
So we're ready.
Take a little time.
Did you spend your day off preparing for the draft?
Let me tell you something.
What time did you get up?
It's funny that you have this board up here in the studio because I have a board like that at home with everybody's name and magnetized, so I can just move them around based on where I'm going to take
How many
guys.
mock drafts did you do?
I did 11 mock drafts.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm prepared for if
Whatever
I draft
scenario
first
comes
or
up.
if I draft second.
Yeah.
I'm totally ready and locked and loaded.
Okay, it's 1 o'clock at the Southland. Friday night, July 14th at the West Covina Sportsplex. Our All-Star Friday night presented by Rotowo Chevrolet. Our friend Mike Capozio, of course, Capozio Buick GMC. Team Sliwa versus Team Mace. Before we start and begin with some music, Corporate Greg, explain the rules of this draft.
The Pledge of Allegiance?
So that's first. No. We've already done this stuff with Mason. He doesn't need to do it. But no. So what's going to happen is you guys are going to do rock, paper, scissors, and yes, it's rock, paper, scissors.
Paper, rock, scissors. We'll do that.
Rock, paper, scissors. What you'll do? Rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the first overall pick.
What? Yeah, I got.
Really? You take a shot at the guy like
I'm
that?
not taking a shot. I'm not. I was just interpreting.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Right.
Yes.
Paper,
and
rock,
so
scissors.
whoever wins gets the first overall pick. After that, the next person gets 2 picks.
Yep.
And after that, it goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Is producer Emily in there to hit the draft sound when we're...
No,
I like the smooth jazz stuff for the draft.
Oh, it is. It's
Nothing
nice.
wrong with
Kenny
it.
G.
So what order are we doing? We're doing a reverse snake draft? What are we doing?
No. So whoever goes first. So you're going to do rock, paper, scissors first.
Right. And then the draft order is how?
And the draft order is whoever wins goes the first pick, and then the next person gets 2 picks, and then it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Okay.
Oh, Tommy's walking. Tommy Lamb. He doesn't look happy.
Tommy's not happy that you want
Something
the interns and the social media team a part of the draft.
Yeah, Tommy could be part of it too.
I'm going to draft Carlo.
I'm drafting D-Hawk and P-Bell.
Okay, we now have to do the rock, paper, scissors portion.
Yes, no shoot on 3. So rock, paper, scissors, go.
Is it?
So,
well, hold on.
Wait.
Is it just first or best out of 3?
Mace, do you do 1, 2,
Don't add
3,
more
shoot,
variables.
or 1, 2, shoot?
Can we lower the music, Taylor, for a moment for this?
And it'll just be the one time.
Okay.
So you guys
Ready?
stand so you
Stand.
can see each other.
Okay.
Come on, this is
Ready?
our production.
1, 2, 3.
Al wins.
Paper, Sliwa. Team Sliwa with scissors.
Al wins. So you get
I
the
like
first
this.
pick.
Yep.
Mason gets 2 and 3, and then we alternate.
I'm just going to say 15 seconds on the board from right now.
Yeah.
Team Sliwa.
There's a lot of great athletes in this.
There's a Wemby, though, in this.
There is a lot of really, really good players. With the
10.
number 1 pick in the draft, I would like to select San Diego State alum himself, Kirk Morrison.
Kirk
with the
Morrison
number 1
off the
pick in
board,
draft.
going to Team
No,
Sliwa
no big surprise.
with his
Great
first
pick.
pick.
No big surprise.
So Team Mace.
We already have. We have to put on there. Cap is already on there. Sedano's already
Yeah,
on
we
there.
already have to. Those are already there.
Those
So
are very
Kaplan
good.
is Team Sliwa.
Yeah.
Kaplan is Team Sliwa.
Sedano,
is Team Mace.
So Team Mace now has 2 picks in a row. Your first pick, 15 seconds on the board right now.
Travis Rogers.
Oh!
Travis Rogers goes the number 2
Wow,
overall.
thanks, Mace.
Homered last year in the game.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Do you want to hear it?
Does Travis go deep? Travis goes deep!
Yep, Travis goes deep.
Should keep a tally of. So this is the first pick. That's the second pick.
Thanks, Mace.
Can you write that? First pick,
Travis
second
wasn't even on my board.
I knew I wasn't.
My second pick.
Now, with
Actually,
his second
you
pick,
would have came early.
Steve Mason makes his second pick. 15 seconds on the board. Go ahead, Mace.
MC of the year, Ron
Yeah,
Mitchell.
baby. Yeah, baby.
Marketing consultant, salesperson of the year, Ron Mitchell, who was an MVP last year, goes
their
to
team.
Team Mace.
Now I get 1 or I get 2?
One.
You get one.
1 pick now.
Oh, that's cool. He's got 2.
So he
it's
has
a
a
good
picture.
pick.
15 seconds on the board, Slee. Let's go. With your second pick.
All right, with the second pick in the draft, Mario Ruiz is off the board.
Mario Ruiz off the board. That's a good, strong
Best
pick. Very
defensive
good in the
player
field.
out there.
He is
Of course,
very
production
good in the
director of
field. Yes.
710 and voice of LAFC and all kinds of other stuff. Team Mace now with your third pick. 15 seconds on the board.
A man who can dance and slap his own ass, Justin Schafflander.
So
is my pick.
Shaffy, of course, the director of sales for 710 ESPN, general sales manager. He likes to do a dance for Lakers, and he said, "I did witness last year. He's got an incredible arm.
That's what I hear. I hear he's
got a rifle.
great arm. Yeah.
So
he's playing right field.
I was
for
in the
us.
dunk tank, and he was going from about 50 feet out and just
Was he hitting
bullets.
the target?
Yeah,
bullets at the target,
and he gets
Bullets.
intense. Like, I'm gonna dunk you, Mason. Now,
It's a
now
strong
it's
pick.
getting tricky.
Yeah, now,
It was always tricky.
shake it up a little bit.
with your third
here.
pick, correct, Slee?
Third pick will be
Number 6 overall.
Matt Burke.
Matt Burke, of
I
course.
can't believe he lasted that long.
Yeah,
See,
Burke
I don't
is
know
out.
if I should be upset that all of the people from the sales side are all going before everybody from the content
First off, they're
side.
consultants.
Matt Burke, of
Yeah,
course, a
marketing
marketing consultant.
consultants.
He's the one that used to play college football, D1, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe D3, doesn't matter. Very tall,
Very tall.
athletic.
Yep.
Dead
He was a
ringer for
tight
me.
end.
So now I get 3 picks.
No, it goes back to Mace.
It goes back to Mace.
What pick is this for Mace?
This is number 4.
Four.
Fourth pick for Mace.
7 overall.
7 overall. That's why Corporate Greg's in here. He's keeping me aligned.
I got you.
We need to stretch. Give me the big C.
Oh, Clinton
Good
Yates
pick.
off the board.
I like that pick.
Off
Yeah,
the
that's
board.
strong.
You know, Clinton will change outfits between innings, so he's not
Excellent.
recognized.
Excellent. And we need somebody to really take it seriously.
Well,
and
this
we
is
can count
good.
on the big CY.
This is good because now we're really shaking it up.
Yeah.
Whatever the team was last year, I got some of yours, you got some of mine.
Exactly. Brand new year.
We are drafting for All-Star Friday Night, Friday, July 14th. It is Team Sliwa's fourth pick, number 8 overall.
Yes, number 8 overall.
Number 8 overall, DeAndre. Really happy
You
to bring
stop.
DeAndre in.
Stop.
DeAndre is
Sliwa.
You're not allowed
welcome.
to take D-Hawk,
Welcome.
Clue,
All
or
right.
P-Bell.
That's fine.
I like you got nicknames.
15
got
seconds on the board, Slee.
Greg Bergman as my
Hey,
next
off the
Greg.
board, off the
Greg
board.
Bergman
Hey,
off.
3 for 3 runs scored last year.
See,
Just
Tommy,
saying.
this is why we use the
Yep.
branding on that, so he says Corporate Greg versus Greg Bergman. But, of course, we can't all be winners. Steve Mason now on the
His
board
email, g.bergman.
with his fifth
It is
pick,
not.
correct? Your fifth pick?
Yep.
Number 9 overall.
Okay. With this pick, I choose former Stanford star Ramona Shelburne.
Oh, Momo off
Star.
the board going early. Nice job with the Momo pick. She was a softball star.
Plus, she's going to be here by 1:30, so I wanted to make
Didn't want
sure.
to deal with that, right?
Of course, Sedano and Kaplan have already been called as part of this. Now it is time for your, I believe, fifth pick. Is that correct?
I have no idea
10 overall.
who is more athletic between the
It's
two.
a very good call, and I'm going to take the other one. So
Team Slee, 15
both
seconds
teams
on the
get
board.
one of them.
Brian Kamenetsky
Ooh.
is on Team Sliwa.
BK.
Goes
Over
with the
AK.
goes with the annoying choice, but that's okay.
Jeez, man.
Okay.
We love BK.
No,
Then
we do.
I have no choice but
hold
to
on,
go.
hold on. This is now your sixth pick.
Yeah.
6th pick, number 11 overall.
Number 11 overall, Team Ace on the board.
A.K.
Oh.
Andy Kamenetsky.
Back-to-back BK AK.
Goes with the funny one.
He is the funny one.
He is very funny.
He is funny. I
Now,
laughed.
Team Sliwa with his sixth pick, 12th overall.
He produces the Los Angeles Lakers broadcast. Michael Funches off
Producer
the board.
Off the
Funches,
board,
but
Michael
branding
Funches.
would be Producer Funches off the board now.
Michael Funches.
So,
Gmail.org.
keep me honest here. This is the 13th pick overall for Mace.
This is
and
going to be the 13th overall and the 7th pick.
7th pick for Team Mace. Smooth jazz.
I am going to choose my friend, my former producer, the great Lindsay Fulton.
Producer Lindsay Baseball.
Strong pick.
You know we're
No
rounding
beef
it
there.
out.
No, none whatsoever.
Will you cut her right before the game starts?
We'll trade her to Slee's team for Bergman.
God, could you imagine what that would look like?
It's deja vu all over again.
Okay, right now, we've got 3 players left on the board. It is time, keep me honest, Corporate Greg, for
Yes.
Team Sliwa.
Team Sliwa. This is number
I think just
number
2
7
left on the board, right?
No, 3.
Who's the third?
We've got
There's
producer
Emily.
Jorge, producer Laura, producer
Oh, yeah,
Emily.
Producer Jorge is still on the
Jorge
board.
wasn't even. Oh, I didn't. Jorge is. Get him
Damn,
on
that
there.
was a terrible pick for me.
I did.
What do you mean?
I didn't know either. Why did I cross
I know,
out?
Why did I?
had him
I
crossed out.
didn't realize
First
Jorge
of
was
all,
there.
Jorge
I
should
had
have
him
gone
crossed
before
out.
me.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Sliwa crossed it out when Mario
value.
went. He just crossed off Jorge and Mario.
A lot of
Same
value.
person.
Good job, Slee.
Okay.
You did.
So I'm getting.
But apparently you did too, Mace.
I am getting producers. So I will go with the great Emily Hebel.
Producer Emily now off the board.
Woo! Sorry, I might be injured.
Oh, who
So
is gonna be
so
the
this is
last
gonna be
pick?
Emily / Laura.
Okay.
Because Emily cannot hit, but she can field.
Yep.
Laura can hit, but not
Perfect.
field.
One more pick left. DeAndre.
So wait a minute.
Because I'm
I
injured,
will go
Maze.
That evens it
T-Bell.
out. That evens out. We're totally evened out here.
Are we even?
Yeah, we're even out.
So now it's just recruiter ringer.
Okay, wait. Here's the question.
Yeah, something is off.
Yeah, we're
5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so yeah, Laura
Team
or Emily. So
Sleeves,
Laura
one
has
light.
to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
Laura goes
Oh
to Team
boy, like we can't all see this coming.
Okay, here's my question.
Yeah.
And this is more directed to Mace.
Okay.
Because there's so many rules in this thing.
Yes, there are.
Do we each have an opportunity to present a trade between now and the actual softball game?
No, because we have to make the jersey colors.
When players get traded mid-draft, they don't stop.
It's so confusing, Slee. Why do you need to do this?
Because I think it's entertaining.
fun. Aren't we about fun?
Where is Tommy Lamb? Where is Tommy? Is
Tommy's
he here?
in there.
Tommy's there.
If we have a set
just-
date of when this needs to be done,
Tommy's
by,
just standing there, arms crossed,
can
annoyed
have-
with the
we
whole
can
thing.
have
Mace,
trades until
Mace.
then.
We're all going to be working for Tommy one day, so
I
we might as
know.
well smile.
Believe
Mace,
working for him
we
now.
could have one jersey, each one that just says traded on the back. So that way we don't have to worry about names.
Traded.
like
Says
the old
they got
baseball
traded.
cards.
Oh,
It's just
I like that.
So
Just
Tommy,
traded.
hold on. Tommy, why don't you grab a microphone and tell us? Take Tyler's mic. He's definitely not using it.
Hey, Ramona.
Morales
What?
dropping bombs.
Firing at will.
Well, I wasn't going to take
I'm also
Emily.
not using mine either.
It
so-
was a joke.
Okay,
Tyler, no,
all
we were
right.
just talking about fat
Tommy.
cells. I'll buy you lunch, Tyler. Don't worry about it. Tommy,
That sounds delicious.
can you give us the
As
drop
long
dead
as
date?
one player per team.
What?
One player per team.
But when's the drop dead date? Because here's what I want to do this. Since your team was not right to Tyler and gave him the impression he is playing, we need one more player. Right?
Yeah, each team should have one more player.
I don't care about that. But this obviously is now off. We screwed up somehow.
No,
Shocked.
no,
that's right.
We're 9
That's
and
right
9.
now.
We're
We're
9 and 9.
We're 9 and 9.
Oh, because you moved him over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're 9 and 9 now.
Okay.
So
I would like producer
And then
Tom-
I'll take P-Bell. And you take D-Hawk.
No, they're
And
working.
let's go.
They're working.
Oh,
But
They're
when is
working.
the drop dead date, Tommy, for jerseys? Speaking into a
Drop
mic.
dead date
You've
for
multiple mics
jerseys.
to choose.
This Friday?
This Friday.
So,
Okay.
so there's 3 days to trade.
If you want to trade, everything has to be done by Friday. Any trades must be done, and then it's final.
Are you looking to trade top picks, mid round, late round? What are you looking to do?
I'm
Slee?
looking late round. I'm looking late round.
I don't
So
know.
you just
there,
snap-
could
or-
be, there could be a blockbuster trade in the works.
Okay, I've got an idea right now. Okay.
You want to save it till tomorrow just because we have...
Yeah, you're right.
there's
We're
a lot-
up
we got
against.
a lot.
I'll have a
against
trade.
it. You're fine.
I have the framework for a deal that I will present.
Because I heard
It's
their
the
wookie
framework. For
I
a
heard their
deal.
wookie promo for tomorrow. They're going to do 3 hours on the trade. So
Yeah, it's
fine.
true. It's true.
All right, so
I like
we
my
have,
team.
We have until Wednesday to make a trade.
Friday.
Did
My
you
God,
listen
are
to
you,
anything?
Are you trying to just do this on
Are
purpose?
you just?
Is that what's happening here?
You are. It is like talking into a blast.
I always wonder why Morales gets so upset when he comes in here.
Mace, you're the one that has told me exaggerate and BS. Now when I BS, you come after me.
Oh no! Okay, I didn't realize you were doing it on purpose. On purpose, it's funny. If it's by accident.
Are you happy,
on
Travis?
purpose.
Travis, are you happy with your team,
Yeah,
Mace?
I am very much. Yes. If I can be your assistant GM here for a
you
second,
were there.
I would sit tight on what you got.
You
Now
like
here-
it?
I do.
But here's the thing. We're going to make sure producer Tyler has a jersey.
Yeah.
No, because he was promised a jersey by
Sure.
Tommy's department.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if Tyler isn't part of a team, I think he'll do sideline reporting for us that night.
Okay.
For Pepe and I. If
How's that
Pepe
feel?
confirms. See, that's something, right?
I'm in. That sounds good.
I
Thank
gave you
Morales.
something.
By the way, I am.
Don't
also,
say I'm not. I'm a bad guy. I'm not.
I'm also
You're a bad guy.
considering going back to Ohio and working on the family farm.
Oh, you are as well.
It's going around.
It is going around.
Yeah.
It is going around.
Hi, Momo.
Hop back on the John Deere. Let's roll.
You can go, Momo.
Super Crosstalks brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out, that's what a hamburger is all about. We'll see you tomorrow.